Push that button.
Going live. Going live. We're live? We're live. I took a guess, looked up at the camera to be like, we're live. And I was like, are we though? Yes, we are. Okay, good. Hello, everyone.
We're alive?
Alive and kicking. Stay until your love is alive and kicking.
Oh.
Good. That was a test. I was like, does he know Simple Minds? Yeah, okay, good. I would have been extremely disappointed.
Yes.
Anyway, hello everyone. How are we all doing?
Hey.
It's such a banger though, yeah.
The only problem is you get out of a chorus and it's...
Yeah.
So you have to really know the words.
Yeah. That Alive and Kicking by Simple Minds is one of those songs which I've been really tempted to take a swing at when I've been to karaoke before. But also when I've listened to it like beforehand, when I knew I was going to go and do karaoke that weekend or something like that, I'd be listening to it, and then I'd listen to it and I'm like, and because the verses are such just mumblecore, I'm just like, no, I can't make that sound good because it doesn't sound good in the original, quite frankly. The song is a banger and the chorus is a banger, but the verses are just, yeah. I don't know how I feel about Simple Minds. They've got, like, there's Don't You Forget About Me and Alive and Kicking, and that's basically the only two songs that they're known for and that anyone likes, I think. Also, just as an FYI, it's Carnival Day.
Ha!
Thanks for the zoom. So...
I can't unzoom.
What are you doing?
I don't know. Your scroll down doesn't scroll down.
I'm trying to tell people why there's big band music coming past outside. That's fine. They're resetting at the moment. The actual carnival run has finished, but some of the silver bands are resetting positions for the 7 p.m. walk. All right. Put a camera view. I did think about it. However, the first carnival walk started at 3 and is long since finished, and the next one won't be until 7, and we're going to be done by then, I hope. So yeah. Also, the other thing as well is that a lot of the floats have kids on, and they'll be public and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, that's a minefield that I have not thought through. So yeah. One does not simply point a camera at kids on YouTube, basically, without knowing exactly what you're doing. So yes. Anyway, hello. Yes, let's get started. Yeah, I'll just quickly to summarize the title for those of you who don't know. Yes, we were.
Oh, okay.
We were featured on LTT in so much as in the latest LTT video about the A+ exam. About 2/3 of the way through, Linus does a bit where he says, if you really want to learn about fixing computers, there's an awful lot of resources just on YouTube. And they show, the B-roll footage shows a YouTube search for how to fix computers, and the top hit front center with no one else following, except How to Basic Who Don't Count, is Adamant IT Let's Fix Computers playlist. And like, it's blink and you'll miss it. I'm there for like 10 frames. However, it's there. And it was a very distinct thing. So it was kind of like sort of, and I was streaming on Thursday night. On Thursday night, I was streaming on Twitch, and suddenly my chat was suddenly blowing up saying, hey, by the way, you're in the latest Linus Tech Tips video. And I'm like, what? I was not aware of this kind of thing. So yeah. However, I've been keeping a eagle eye on the YouTube analytics over the past like 3 days to see if anything might come of that. And the answer is no, not even a blip. Like part of me kind of thought, even though I'm only there for like 10 frames, because it's such a very visible thing for those 10 frames, I kind of thought that there might be a little bit of blip of someone just clicking through or doing that search and clicking through or something, and that I might see like a little bump in the analytics or something.
Maybe.
Maybe even just a slight, I got 10 more subscribers today than on a normal day or something like that.
Yeah.
Flatline, nothing, absolutely nothing. So yeah, not that it matters, it's not that I've lost anything or been robbed, but yeah. Anyway, the reason why I laughed just then is Caradog has created a in Comic Sans MS as featured on LTT t-shirt. So
That exists on the fourth wall.
is that published?
No.
Okay, yeah, fine. Just out of interest, I meant to ask you about this during the week, but did you do more fiddling with fourth wall?
I have. You have been semi-updated.
Okay, because yeah, I see you added in the mug.
Yeah, your shop is also no longer advertising sports socks
Excellent.
and grime jackets.
Right. So basically, with a basic set of logo stuff, the shop is actually up and running now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
And
This is what it is. There's this on here, and then there's a YouTube integration.
oh, neat. Yeah.
And this is the live shop.
Yeah. That's really that's neat. And also, I
I
forget.
also fixed the spacing.
Oh, cool. I forget their name, but someone received their hoodie
Yes.
and gave an update in Discord about it. And I only skimmed through it because I was busy at the time. I meant to go back and reread
Yes.
their thing, but if my memory serves me from skimming through the message, it was words to the effect of it's fine,
Yeah.
basically. So,
I think that their comment was just the sizing was fractionally bigger
Oh,
than they
yeah,
expected,
yeah.
which
However,
is arguably a good
I
thing,
was about to
certainly
say
on hoodies.
too big is a good problem to have. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
on hoodies definitely.
yeah.
Yeah.
I will probably add a mention into the description saying that it's bigger than you think it will be. So like size.
what she said.
Yeah. The point being a lot of people will buy one size up than what they think they need just in case. You don't need to do that with this. But on the flip side, though, obviously we don't know about shrinkage and that kind of thing. Either way, good problem to have. So I think we're good to go on the merchandise. So my inclination,
Being larger than expected is
yeah, that's how I would like it
good
to be. Yeah.
situation to be in. Yes.
So I might not even mention it at all, but just because, yeah, I don't think anyone complains when something is slightly too big. So yeah, and the
Indeed.
royal blue is very blue. Yes, this is true.
Oh yes, Jojo, as by Discord name.
Yes, yeah, Jojo in chat as well. Yeah, thanks, many thanks, Jojo.
Excellent.
Yeah,
It was only because I could only remember the name that was on the order, and I'm like, that's not the name that was on the accounts.
I see. Yeah, yeah. And yes, the royal blue is extremely blue. Yes.
This is fabulous.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I'm kind of sad yours hasn't arrived.
Oh, that's true because it would have been coming from an EU warehouse. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's had a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't looked at any of the tracking for it though.
No.
Just with a lot of things when I purchase them, when I buy things from Amazon, I'm just like, where the hell is my order? But when I buy things from basically anywhere else, I just send the money. I'm just like, it'll show up when it shows up. Because yeah, I think it's just because where I buy a lot from like AliExpress and JLC PCB and stuff like that, you assume it's going to be a couple of weeks before you see it. So yeah.
Oh yeah, your tracking number also doesn't work.
Oh, that's
So I remember
unfortunate.
trying to track it on Thursday, just to see if we'd have it for today.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, your tracking number doesn't work.
Ah.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully that's not a pattern because obviously like I'm not super fussed, it arrives when it arrives, but if the tracking system itself is
Yeah.
busted, that's going to be annoying.
Ah, there we go.
Although, oh good, yeah.
Your package will arrive at some point in the next 30 days.
Fine. Where is it?
It's in
coming
America.
Oh, it's coming from the US. Oh, that's terrible.
Why is... what?
Service, 2-day delivery. Bottom right. Whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
Excellent. It's being delivered by Every.
Hence the 30 days remaining then, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll see. Because that's going to be yeah. I don't know. Part of me doesn't know how much to get involved in this because part of me wants to provide a good service, but the other part of me is like, this is the reason why we used Fourth Wall is that I don't have to care about any of this.
Yeah.
This is Fourth Wall's job to resolve. It's not my job to deal with any of this. This is why you use a service like Fourth Wall. You pay them a chunk of money for the, well, or rather, they take a chunk of the profit, and in exchange, you don't have to deal with any of the logistics at all. That's the point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Anyway,
However, still, it seems to at least function as a website.
yes,
And
yes.
orders and so on.
Yeah. So now it's just a question of do I launch with what I've got, or do I get a couple more designs up and then launch?
Yeah.
I might just launch with what we've got and just say this is what we've got so far. I'm going to add more in the future.
Yeah. If before your next video you think of 2 more designs, I would stick 2 more designs on there just so you've got 6 in the 3x2 grid.
Yeah.
Instead of 5 in the 2x3 grid with one of them sold out.
Yeah.
That would be my only comment on that.
Yeah.
Lunch! Oh wait, no, launch.
Yeah. I mean, I could just fix the mouse pad as well. Oh, no, yeah.
You'd have to upload it as a black image.
I'll see if I can fix the mouse pad, because
I also may have accidentally deleted one of the images you uploaded.
Oh, that's fine, I can upload that again. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I think I did those from home, but well, either way, I have all the assets anyway. Yeah, so, yeah. Fine. All right. Anyway, welcome in, everyone, I guess. Yeah, so I'm going to start working on stuff while we waffle. The Lianli is back on the bench again. I stole the 7800X3D out of this a couple of weeks ago, and it went into another computer. And I've just bought a second-hand 7800X3D to put back in this, but it's not posting. So I'm going to take this apart and see if I can check. There's a couple of things that could be wrong. The platform, the Gigabyte Zen 5 motherboards, AM5 motherboards in general seem to be a bit miss. So it's fussy. I dropped the memory kit that is in here, so I'm not sure if that's working. So basically I want to sit down and figure out whether this platform works or not. And if it does work, then I'm going to put it in my PC at home, because I'm not going to sell it in here. It's not going to move, so I want to keep it myself, put my 5800X kit in here, and fire sale the damn thing, basically, and just get it gone.
Oh, yes.
So, yes. Is it me or you guys gone dark? Yeah.
We are definitely dark.
I was about to say...
We're much brighter on YouTube than we are on the preview, but I thought the preview was just dark. So I'm going to go the other way and just be like...
Yeah. I think what's not helping is the stage left side of the set is brighter than stage right, because of the dark background here. Normally we sit the other way around and you wear light clothing on a dark background and I wear dark clothing on a light background. Now we're overexposed. Too bright, too bright!
Yes. It's okay, because what we're seeing on YouTube is different to what we're getting on the preview.
Oh, whack.
Oh, too much.
Caradog slowly cooking us. Solar flare!
No. We're going to have to go overexposed.
That's fine, because I'm going to take the motherboard out of this and then take this off the bench anyway. So yeah.
Yeah. Who knows what's happening here? It's all a bit.
Maybe drop the saturation that you added in OBS.
Oh, I'll see.
Yeah, because that might be screwing things up.
I didn't actually add any filters, did I? Oh, hold on.
Oh, you put gain on.
Did I?
Wait, was that... show me what you just did again.
Filters.
Yeah. Yeah, you added in gain, not saturation.
Did I?
Yeah, so that's why we've got overexposure.
I didn't do anything with filters. I'm just going to delete that entirely. Has that been sat there the entire time? Are we confused?
Yes, and also we're still hot. However, you know what? This is just a baked stream now. We should just put on a deep fried filter and just be deep fried for the rest of the stream.
I don't know what that means.
Deep fried is just like massive oversaturation and like 4-bit color kind of thing. So if you go back to filters, let's see if we can make this happen. Add in, so put in, let's see. Oh, this is an audio filter. Oh God, was there an audio gain? Oh no, that's gain from thing. Yeah, that's fine. Right, get out of that, and the lower left. No, sorry, filters. Lower left plus, because that's a video effect, not an audio effect. There we go. And then color correction, and then do saturation. Yeah, just pump that up. I can't see the difference.
Okay.
No idea what's going on there.
Apparently we are unfilterable.
Yep.
We cannot be stopped.
We will not be suppressed. Freedom of speech. Okay, I'm bored of that bit, so I'm going to start taking this computer apart now. The joke is not working, so... and we are not going to spend 20 minutes troubleshooting OBS so we can do a 30-second gag of going, haha, now the picture looks silly. So...
that sound... Oh, there we go.
Yeah, deep fried. That's good enough. What was wrong with it?
There we go.
Oh.
I changed it into high log gamma. And because there's no high log gamma information, it will just expand to fill the color space. But obviously it hasn't actually got the full color space information, so it will look over gammaed.
Fair. Okay. All right. All right.
But also I think that's possibly why we look a bit weird, is because my camera is in PQ HDR and the stream is in Rec 709, not Rec 2100.
Yes.
So our color spaces are wrong.
I can't believe I didn't think of that, to be honest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our color spaces. Spaced, man.
All right. It's been overgrammed. Yes, I'm going to go with that. I always wanted to go into Spaceman, intergalactic crime. All right. That was where you were going with that, right?
I was more going for, the random sound effect guns battle from Spaced.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
The hit TV show from about 2003.
Yes, which...
was watched by 17 people.
Okay, yeah. Oh, Spaced was really, really funny back in the day, but man, it has not aged well.
I've never actually sat down and watched an episode.
There are some bits where I think it's hilarious, but man, a lot of it just, it's not as funny as I thought as I thought it was back in the day.
Yeah, I'm sure it will still be funny, just because of kind of knowing the context.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I think fair. All right. Catching up on chat. So, right. This PC has wings. Yes, it has little flappy bits. This is a Lianli Landcool 2. I like this case a lot. I didn't like this case when it came out, but everyone was just like, "You should review this case." So I bought one, and it's been one of my favourite cases that I've ever owned.
Yes.
With my only complaint about it being because of the double-sided glass, it's bastorially heavy.
You dissed it in LT. Two Guys Talk Tech episode 6.
Oh, fair enough.
I know this because I watched episode 6 like 2 days ago.
Okay. I was going to say that's a very specific reference and/or memory, but sure. Right. Dr. Phil Doe says, missed most of the stream when we were talking about what gear you needed a new soldering iron and got a Pine-Sol V2 on sale for $25. That's a cracking price. Yeah, that's a solid soldering iron. A lot of people give the Pine-Sol crap for being an electronics iron, but then the Pine-Sol 2 can do 80 watts, so and yeah, it's perfectly adequate until you get into really high-end stuff. So yeah.
You have 2 of those CIT case boxes. That's why I'm bemused.
Ah, yes. Okay.
It was the fact that I was just like, I don't remember putting it over there. My marbles, where are they?
Imagine watching yourself. Well, some stuff I rewatch and sometimes some stuff I don't. Sometimes
I rewatch this because I'm hilarious.
Yeah, I like to rewatch some of my content because some content I make I actually really like, because at the end of the day you make the content, you set out to make the kind of content that you would want to watch. And so you end up rewatching your own stuff because you're like, I like this, I think this is good. And also sometimes you watch it just because when you rewatch it you see ways in which it can be improved or stuff to think about for the future, you know.
Like when every week you were adamant that we were doing 1 hour 59-minute streams.
I still think 3 hours is too long. I've just accepted that that's just what happens now. Just because in order to get the length of the stream down, we would have to structure it and actually stick to the structure. And this is just not how it shakes out. And while I'm still not sure that I'm happy with that, it seems to be fine. It seems to be okay. So,
I mean, those guys are still here.
Yeah, I guess. So, yeah. Graham and Caradog would make good voices for Mystery Science Theatre. All right. You also forgot to order a Type-C power adapter wall wart, so you've got to order one of those. Yeah, that's fair. There is a link to the... do you want to grab the... because it's in Discord at the moment, so yeah. We'll just grab the list to the equipment list. I have not finished filling it out. I intended to, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. However, the list exists now, and there is a discussion channel in the Discord for people to drop in suggestions and comments and stuff like that. And so, yeah, a lot of it, I haven't finished filling out a lot of basic stuff in there, so it's extremely incomplete. However, for how far we got with it, there's the link. So yes, I'm just going to grab the bench cam just so people can just see what I'm doing here. Because doubtless people will want something to look at while we talk about nonsense.
Nonsense.
Nonsensical, as it were.
Gibberish.
Yeah. I was far too old when I realised that nonsensical meant something that was nonsense, kind of thing.
Oh.
Like, I understood the context of what that word meant, but it hadn't occurred to me that it was made out of the word nonsense.
I was 35.
Gable.
What? Sai, why are you attacking your eyes with a spoon? Sai, please.
Dare I ask?
I don't know.
Okay, then.
Well, it seems to be contextless, but maybe I just wasn't paying attention. And having something to watch. Okay. Sai's lost it.
Well, yeah, but...
The man is mad.
That man needs medical attention.
Get that cheese to sickbay.
Yes. I think we might be referring to the same thing, but I don't know any of the other words from it, so yeah. Right. Can you bench cam for me, please?
Maybe.
No, you just need a spoon. Okay, then. All right. You've got a problem with HP laptop that will not post. 5 blinks on caps lock and numlock. Blank screen. Fan ramps up after a bit. So these kind of symptoms are really common with HP. I don't know what 5 blinks specifically means, but try Google searching that to see if you can get some information, because that will be an error code.
An erroneous.
Yeah. So yeah, it could be a memory issue. It could be a scrambled BIOS. It's also common on HPs that and I've had a win with this before, where you need to resolder the pins on the memory module slots, because the memory module the module holder bit gets delaminated from the motherboard, and you've got to resolder the pins down. I've had a win doing that before as well. So yeah, memory testing. Check the BIOS battery if it uses one. Some of them do, some of them don't. 5 blinks sometimes means power source, not HP, or not enough amps. Okay, yeah. Yeah, make sure you're using a known good charger. All right. I'm going to push that up a little bit. Yeah, good enough.
There we go. Star Trek Voyager, yes.
Perfect. All right. Years. Hello, Pianov. How you doing? Using a Delta power brick with a Pinesaw V2. It's expensive but good quality and allows you to get the most power out of the iron at 28 volts. Oh, interesting. Oh, I'm assuming that's a DC power brick then.
Google will tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. 140 watts up to 20. Oh, yeah, it is power delivery at 28 volts. I didn't even know 28 volt was a standard with power delivery.
I don't know. But yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about that because I'm using a Dell 120 watt power delivery adapter on my bench, but because it's the Dell one, it's not standards compliant. It's kind of sort of compliant. It is USB-C, yeah, power delivery 3, yeah. Yeah. I'm using the Dell one, which is it's got the spirit, but it's not 100% compliant, and some things just don't communicate with it properly, but most things do. So it certainly doesn't do the 28 volt thing. So I'm kind of interested in something like that as a really good bench supply. So yeah, only one stick. It's because I've been diagnosing it already. The other stick is here, but I'm going to start dismantling this and doing some bench testing with it. So this computer is currently a no post. It just it goes through. I think it might be stuck in RAM training. It sits on DRAM. Then after a while, it goes over to VGA. And the graphics card lights up, which is normally a hint that you're about to hit boot, but then it just power cycles and goes back to DRAM again. It looks like it's going to go and then just doesn't. So yeah. Excuse me. I may frequently blow my nose because I've just been extremely sniffly today. So yeah, however, once I get this platform working, it's going in my PC at home. So I'm just going to rip it all out of here and do diagnostics on the bench. So I'm going to take this all out.
Oh, I'm going to move the camera because it's touching the bench.
Oh, right, yes.
So when you wiggle the bench, the camera was also doing this.
I'm going to give it a little bit more room than that.
Ha!
Oh. There we go.
You see the debar video on fake AMD CPUs?
I have not seen such a thing. No. I'm aware that they are. I'm aware that they exist. That is a thing.
So, it was.
So, here's the Earth.
So, here's the interposer.
And that's a sweet interposer, you might say.
Wrong. It's the wrong color.
I see.
It was the wrong shade of the color. Like it was off by 1,000th. But basically, they delidded it, and there was nothing on it.
Oh.
Empty, barren,
all right,
bereft.
Fair enough.
And all of the lumps had been modelled onto the rear side of the IHS. So there were lumps. So if you looked through the side, it looked like there were chips there.
Oh, man. Oh, that's insidious. Because I was about to be like, oh, well, that should be easy to spot at least. But yeah.
Yeah.
Wild. Yeah, that's the problem. Because that basically means that you can't order anything from you can't order these from AliExpress now, because
I mean you can.
I guess
because it turns up, it doesn't work, and then you go
get your money
refund.
back. Sure, yeah, but like it means that it's a pretty steep roll of the dice, though.
No, because it turns up, it's fake. You go refund, and the seller doesn't get paid.
Sure.
And they'll get chased off of AliExpress in a couple of weeks.
Sure, but that means it might be a month before you actually get the chip you're trying to buy.
Yeah.
And like if
It was bought from Romanian secondhand Facebook marketplace.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So yeah, but it's also just a fact of like I would have zero concern.
Yeah. Is Neoprogrammer still the best for the CH341A? I'm still using Neoprogrammer, but I don't know if it's still the weapon of choice. Yeah, Lead Farmer might know specifically. Lead Farmer, is Neoprogrammer still cool, or are we using something else now? And by we, I mean you.
Are there any paid for BIOS programming type softwares? Is anyone actually selling and saying, yes, there's actual support with this?
It is assumed to come with the programmer that you're using. When you buy a programmer, you're often buying a programmer based on the fact that it comes with software that has X amount of support. Incidentally, when we were talking about tech, about equipment, yes, we were talking about equipment, and on the programmers, we put in as the expensive option the TL866-2, and Wild Floor Lamp corrected us to a newer version of that, which apparently is the one that is actively supported.
Yes.
So that is also a thing. That has been updated on the dock as well.
Oh, you have done that?
The TBK-638.
Yeah.
That's a fume extractor. That was somewhere else. Yeah. Anyway, the dock has been updated with that.
Cool.
Oh,
okay.
That's interesting. I wonder if that's anything to do with this thing not posting
The
that.
fact that you've just not plugged it in.
Yeah, the ATX cable just isn't in properly.
Oh.
Yeah, that might be why there's a good chance. Okay, because this is the best repair channel on YouTube, there's a good chance that this is going to work first time. So,
best repair channel on YouTube.
Yes. All the cables are cable tidied. I'm going to turn that to one side and rest it.
I thought you were going to say, I'm going to unplug this 12-volt high power cable from this water block.
I just want to rest you there for just a second. Please just sit so I can let go of you. Okay, thank you. Then I can wipe the thermal paste off of it, and then I can actually leave it face down without it making a hecking mess everywhere.
Oh, the box isn't on the shelf behind me. I thought it was.
What are you looking
for? The motherboard. Can you remember what it is?
Are people asking for this one specifically? Yeah.
Yeah. Is it the Elite AX?
I think it's that one down there. It's a B650 Aorus Elite AX V2.
Yeah.
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 The specs on it are nice, but like I said, so far this motherboard has worked.
Yeah. The B650 Elite AX V2 is the one that's good.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
It is JD approved.
Ah. Yeah. 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 The other two motherboards I bought have definitely not been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
one that I bought for a customer, it worked just fine, but definitely I got bad vibes from it. I was like, this is fine, it's functional, it's good enough to send out.
Yeah.
But it's I'm not a fan of it. And then I've also got the X670 Gaming X AX, and I need to get that one back out, BIOS updated, to find out if they fixed it, which actually we could do now because I've got another chip.
And also, if it doesn't work, I will just... Did you get it from Amazon?
Yes.
I will then just get Amazon to give you a refund.
Okay then, yeah.
Because it's not sitting on the shelf taking up space otherwise.
Very well, yeah.
Because you're not going to do anything with it.
No.
We already know this.
I would complain, but I know better, and if you are willing to do things for me, I should just... Yeah.
Would you like some money back?
I have friends who just don't get stuff done, and I'm like, let me do this for you because I have the energy to do it for you. Let me help you, and I need to learn to accept the same amount of help. When someone says, just let me do this for you, I should be like, thank you very much, friend. So yeah. But also, I don't want to feel like I'm just taking advantage and being lazy, but whatever.
Why is there a hamster in here?
Oh, I think it's some undissolved sugar. That's fine. There was just a chunk at the bottom of my mug, and I'm like, what the hell was that? But yeah, I use brown sugar because I'm classy. However, brown sugar. But sometimes you get like I don't know what the term for it is, but you get little like sort of chunky bits that are just, because it's unrefined, there are lumps in it sometimes that don't dissolve properly. I don't know why I'm explaining this.
Just get that motherboard out.
Yes.
Yes.
Right, that's sitting there now. Okay, let's keep going. Brown sugar is dirty white sugar, and white sugar tastes like crap. I will die on this hill. Brown sugar tastes better.
I quite like the look of this board.
It is, yeah, that's why I bought it. It was a good looking board and it was a good price.
It's got good USB on it.
Yeah, that's why I bought it. I was super sad about that board. Everyone was just like, oh, you bought a lemon, you fool. And I'm like, it looked good. And
Yeah.
like, by and large, this is the thing. Loads of people with a lot of motherboards will all say, oh, that motherboard's crap. I've used a lot of motherboards that people have told me are garbage, and they've worked just fine. Like, case in point, for ages I had an MSI X570 Gaming or something like that kicking around, which loads of people just lambasted in reviews and said, oh, this is junk, the VRMs are junk, it's bad. And I'm like, I've put like all kinds of chips in this, including 5800Xs, and it's fine. It works just fine. There's nothing wrong with it. So when people tell me that a motherboard is crap, I tend to take that opinion with a pretty big handful of salt, because there is crap because you were trying to overclock the balls off of it, and then there is crap in the sense of it actually doesn't work. Crap in the sense of it doesn't actually work is pretty damn rare. So,
Except for an AM5.
yeah. However, this was crap in that it literally didn't work.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, yeah, it was just, this is not fit for purpose, bad. You know, it was the computer was either breakingly slow or just non-functional. And as soon as I swapped the motherboard and used the same RAM and CPU, the problem was resolved. So it was objectively the motherboard's fault. But online, when I looked at it, I was like, that looks like a great board.
Yeah.
I love it, you know. So
I still think
this
it's
is
just the
basically-
case that the board, the model of board isn't a problem specifically, but this one has a problem.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it's just that they can fix it in BIOS, and I'm hoping there's been some BIOS updates to that have made it. I'm not expecting it to solve all of the world's problems, but if they can make it just so it's functional, then that will be a good start. And then I can just chuck it into a gaming computer and flog it and get it gone. So yeah, or failing that, you know, if it works good enough, then I'll use it myself, and I'll keep the this B650, which is a known good, and you put this one in a custom computer instead. So, personally had bad experiences because they die early. Maybe, yeah, who knows.
Neither.
Yeah.
Absolutely neither. Fluffy tail.
Yeah. Also, John David Sullivan, my vote is for Demerara. Yeah, Demerara is specifically the brown sugar that I use, yeah. I just call it brown sugar. I don't mean like the brown sugar that you put in a cake. I mean Demerara. So, yeah.
That's not how you spell gaming.
There's two completely different conversations going on at the moment. One is about sugar, the other is about motherboards.
The latest one came out September 3rd.
Yeah.
So that's definitely newer.
Yeah, I haven't touched that board since we last rebuilt this, which must have been 6 months ago.
Yeah. What do you need to name it for BIOS flashback?
Oh, you're going to go for a flash. Before we do anything with it, I'm inclined to just drop the CPU in it and just see what it does. I'd like to try and reproduce the faults, because also, if it works flawlessly with this chip, it might suggest that the other 7800X3D was a lemon as well, which might be interesting. So I want to do that in the interest of just gathering more data. Good, I didn't mangle the pins in the socket. Also, I'm going to just clean the bottom of this CPU because it's dirty as heck. It is a second-hand chip, this, and I don't trust the guy that sold it to me because it took him about 2 weeks to dispatch it. And I understand people who are just like, oh, sorry, it was super busy and I didn't get around to it. I'm like, bitch, you can do that when it costs £10, not when it costs this much.
Wait.
Also,
sorry,
I think I just overpaid for it as well, but...
Ah, that's cool. This board supports the Gigabyte Thunderbolt 4 add-in card. Neat.
Very well. All right, one CPU. I don't know why I took the CPU out just then. I should... Oh, that didn't feel right.
That sounded like you just snapped something.
Yeah, oh, it was just the hold down plate. Well, the ILM wasn't quite shut properly, so when it went under tension, it just snapped into place. But yeah, nothing broke though. It's fine. Okay, right. Is this coming out now? Are we good? Yeah, it is almost there. Making a bit of a hash of this. Oh, my days. Come on, get out the way, cables. Oh my God, what is holding me up? Come on, are we going? I think we're going. It's happening. There we go. What was this one like? 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 11.5, not bad. Actually looks slightly bent, this board, but I don't know. Sometimes motherboards be like that. Okay, right, let's get this out of the way. I'm going to put that down here for a moment and move you somewhere else. Ugh.
Damn it, Graham. Right. Which flash drive is the one that doesn't matter? Is it knockoff Equestria Girls again?
Yes. No, knockoff Equestria Girls is Windows 11.
Oh.
I lied. Use Adventure Time. Because I've no idea what's on Adventure Time at the moment, and it's nothing important.
There we go. Adventure Time is empty.
Cool.
No, it's not. It's a Windows installer
Oh yeah, that's fine. We can bin that.
with a extra partition.
Yeah.
I see.
Okay. Right. Is this motherboard on shot?
Huh. Go away. There we go.
Yeah, that's good enough. All right.
Wait, what?
4 megabyte fat partition. I don't know. Oh, I think you just nuked. Have we still got audio? I think so. Yeah. I think
We still have levels.
Yeah. I was going to say what I think you just nuked the internal storage on the microphone receiver. So yeah. However, we're still audible.
Oh well. In
Yeah.
the scale of things.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
well.
It doesn't actually matter. I'm curious as to why it's just 4 megabytes. I think that's I don't know. Don't know. As long as they still work. Cool. Right. What are we doing? We're testing. So firstly, I'm going to get a power supply on this and see if it works. The EP connector. I need the power supply on the other side, really. Fine. The art of turning all of the cables so they bend nicely while you put them on the bench. That'll do. All right. Right, 7800X3D has got internal graphics, hasn't it?
Yes. Everything except for the 7500F,
Cool.
as far as I'm aware.
Right, no bent pins. Let's put you in that.
That honestly looked like you went, no bent pins.
Yeah.
Heck!
When I put it in there originally, when it wasn't working, I did the naughty thing of putting the CPU in while the case was upright. So I was sort of going, nah, which you really shouldn't do because you're asking for trouble when you do that. So yeah, I did, and so the fact that it wasn't working, I'm like, non-zero chance that I just mangled the socket. However, I have not mangled the socket, so it's fine.
Congratulations.
Right, speaking of mangled hardware, that's the one that didn't get dropped. And this one has, yeah, that one's got a scratch on the corner, so that's the one that got dropped. So this should be a good module.
Yet.
And hit me. Hood me, and cooler. Cooler. Bop. Good. And widgets. Nope, made that mistake last week. Why is the light on? All right. Bang.
Building on the Mobo box, is this a PC for Caradoc? Not this time.
Right, where are diagnostic LEDs are there? Yeah, it is just about visible. We need the top, it's in the top left and we need it in the top right. Big yellow thing?
Oh, it's that.
Oh, it's a cable tie, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cable tie on the fan.
But from the camera angle, I couldn't work out what depth it was at.
Yeah.
And it looked like something on the motherboard went yellow.
Fair. Right, that's just done the same thing that it did over there, where it went around to VGA and then boot loops back to DRAM again. The other annoying thing is I don't actually have another DDR5 RAM kit, so if we've got I can't remember if I dropped both sticks or not, or just one of them. That's the other frustrating thing.
Have you got an SSD in this?
Yes. BIOS reflex. Yeah, we can do all of these things, but we'll actually just see if it works first. What's the first thing you should do when trying to crack a safe? Check if it's open. It's a line from a film called Blue Streak that I think about a lot.
Oh, yeah. I was going to go a stage more reductive and find the safe.
Yeah, true. But yeah, in the film Blue Streak, which is a comedy, that's in the intro to the bit. They're both breaking in. They're trying to crack a safe in a bank or something. And he goes, "Oh, what's the first thing you should do when cracking a safe?" And he goes, "Drill the lock." And he goes, "No, you check if it's unlocked." And it's like, oh. He then does this bit where he goes, "It's open." And he goes, like, "What? No, it's not. Of course it's not." But it's very funny.
I'd love it if they finished the film by them cracking a safe and it actually being open.
That would be a really funny setup and payoff, yeah.
That doesn't seem to be getting anywhere.
No. Also, I'm going to just watch it for a sec, but it doesn't look like it's actually cycling at this point either.
No.
So no, I think we've given it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, you have got a beep speaker plugged in, haven't you?
No. I thought
you had one on your little doodad.
No, because the beep speaker can be in different positions, so I don't have one built into that.
I see.
That's this doodad is just power LED, hard drive LED, power button, reset button. But yeah, the problem is the beep speaker is usually here. However, on some motherboards, it might be separate on a little bit above, and this is half the width, in which case it wouldn't fit on and stuff like that. So yeah.
Oh, I see.
Okay, right. So let's BIOS reset. BIOS battery out, and have I got a? I've got a Q flash, but I don't have a reset button.
Yeah.
I could use the jumper, but BIOS battery
out is fine.
The other thing
as well that we will have to do after the reset is give it like 5 minutes.
Yeah. That's why I was kind of waiting for a while, just because AM5 is just sometimes like that.
DDR5.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. I know when I was originally having problems on that board, sometimes if you let it it was a marathon to get it to post, and there were times where I would just walk away from it in disgust, come back like 20 minutes later and find that it had posted and be like, okay, Yeah. So yeah.
Excellent. JD says on Z890 boards, even the cheaper MSI boards are bringing the postcode back. So there's hope for them to become more common again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, though, that's Z890, which is kind of like, theoretically, as far as gamers are concerned, gamers do not need to care about these that's Intel Z890. Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because it's Z.
Yeah. I have to do a double take because everything sucks, but yeah.
What?
Well, okay, so Z is Intel, X is AMD, but then B could be either,
Yes.
And it's just, I hate motherboard naming conventions right now. Blech. That's probably long enough. Let's try that again. Not going to change anything else, let's just take it for a spin. Look at it go!
I'm going to do a little zoom and enhance.
Yeah.
Zoom. Wrong way!
All right, it just did a cycle. I saw that just then. Do we have another CPU? No, we don't really have... We've got nothing to test with. We've got another motherboard that's a known bad, and that's it. So, yeah. Not a lot to... Not a lot to work with here.
Oh, there you go. It just
another
cycled.
cycle.
Cool, okay. Yeah, it's weird. The turning on any power supplies does seem to drop the capture card.
Oh, interesting.
For the main cam. So I just need to work out what the hell's going on there.
Need to get it onto a different socket. I've been meaning to split up the strips down here because oh no, that was plugged further down on the wall. Oh yeah, no, the capture computer is on a different socket, but then it's on the same ring as such.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that doesn't look like it's going to do anything. There goes another cycle, yeah. I'm going to bust out a cider.
Yeah.
Are we going to move to a different slot now? There's another cycle.
What light is that? Because I can't read what it says.
That's on DRAM at the moment. Top left is DRAM. Top right is boot. So and the bottom right is VGA. So it is cycling over to VGA, which makes you think it's going to go. Because if your VGA light comes on, you're probably about to boot. However, yeah, as you can see, it goes to VGA and then it just cycles back around to DRAM again. So yeah, a bit odd. Are we going to stand around and wait, or are we going to do something?
I thought you said you were going to go get a cider.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have a cider. I'm going to crawl under the desk and poke around in the box. Whoop. Ooh. What have we got? Oh, we've still got more of the honeys. Midford cider with a sparkle. Ah, there's a different tone to my voice under the desk.
Yeah, you get more reverb.
Yeah. Caradog, what are you having? Well, do you want a cider?
Anything that isn't salty.
Oh no, I was about to say, I don't think we've got those in this box, and then I immediately pulled one of them out. Do you want another one of the ginger ones?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I won't drink those.
I meant to buy more of those.
Ooh.
I'll actually take a photo.
Yeah.
Because I like these.
I might take a sip of it, actually. I'm going to get a cup just so I can try a bit of it. I don't think I'm going to like it, but I haven't tasted it. Yeah, I'm not a fan of ginger. Do we have any Graham D. Graham? We do not.
No, I haven't been to Aldi. I need to go to Aldi. Yeah, that's not doing anything, is it?
No.
Mr. JD, assuming you're still here. When it's actually doing RAM training, should it hover on the RAM light?
Yeah, that's the other annoying thing, is I don't know if this behaviour is indicative of just DDR5 dicking about, or whether...
Yeah, it should hover on the RAM light.
Yeah, okay, so cycling like this means it's not going to work. That's my interpretation there.
Certainly looks like it, yeah. And that's the CPU light, isn't it? The RAM light's the one below that one.
No, we're currently on the DRAM light.
Oh, that is the DRAM light.
Oh, okay. CPU is bottom left.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, so it is hovering on it now, but then it cycles around again.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't be cycling. Yeah,
all right.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's move to another RAM slot. Well, actually, I'm going to move to the other RAM module first. Although this
you can do a different module in a different slot.
Yeah, sure. Let's change multiple things, because to be honest, we're not trying to narrow it down right now. We just want to make it do something.
Because if it actually does something, we can then narrow it down.
Yeah, then we can start.
Yeah.
Boop. Boop.
Did you get these, or did someone send us a box of honeys, or what was the setup for the honeys? I don't recall.
I don't either. I didn't buy them, so I think the honeys were a gift. I'll level with you though. I can't remember where they came from. I'll check the box in case.
What did Paige buy?
Oh, he bought. I don't think we've got any of it left now.
He bought Foey Valley at one point.
Yeah, I think it's only the Foey Valley that Paige sent. Yeah, that's not bad actually.
It's very nice.
I want to say
it's very much just a hint.
Yeah, I was about to say, I want to say that I can't taste the ginger, but it has got a flavour to it. So that hint
it's just cycled again.
That hint of ginger is really effective.
Yeah. It does make it ever so slightly more refreshing.
Yeah.
It makes it sweeter without it being sweet.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I want to say it makes it sweeter.
No, it doesn't. Sorry, it makes it less harsh.
Yeah.
It's
taking the edge off of it.
Yeah. It's like adding milk to coffee. Adding milk to coffee doesn't make the coffee sweeter. It takes out the bitter. Because milk is a good anti-bitterant. Yeah. And in the same way, I think the rhubarb is functioning as an anti-bitterant, effectively.
Yeah. No, it's not mead. It's just a brand of cider called Honeys.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Also, yeah, it's cycled 3 times now.
Fine.
It's not doing it.
All right. Balls. I should have got another memory kit. Right. Should we lob it in this board and see what it does? I don't know what I'm expecting. I'm just trying to think of what we can actually change right now, because the problem is that I don't trust this memory kit.
Take out the memory.
Yeah.
And then turn it on.
Sure.
Because we should, in theory, get different behaviour if the RAM functions.
Sure.
Shouldn't we? Like, we should get a beep of it going,
Yeah.
there's no RAM!
Yeah. Like I say, it's really annoying me because I can't remember if I dropped both the modules or just one of them. Like,
Can we
I think at some point I was carrying them on a box and one or both of the modules slipped off the box and hit the floor. But I can't remember if both of them did or
But
just
the
one of
modules
them.
hit the floor.
Yeah.
That's
So-
the modules hit the floor.
So yeah. So that's the problem is I can't remember if both the sticks are untrusted or just one of them is untrusted. It's really annoying. If mem was failing, it wouldn't be cycling onto VGA. Yeah, that's a reasonable assumption.
Interesting. I flicked the power switch and the camera didn't do anything this time. I'm just gonna... Please me turn on the motherboard. Thanks. There we go.
Okay.
We can safely assume that the RAM at least partially functions. And also, as someone said, it shouldn't cycle.
Yeah. All right. It's doing something then.
Yeah. So we can, based on what we have, we can at least be partially confident that both modules are detected and function in some fashion.
Yeah. It should be enough to get through basic training. So yeah. Add a GPU. I don't think so.
Yeah. We'll swap to this board and then see what happens.
Because it was doing the same thing when I had a GPU in there, so I've no reason to believe that it's a GPU. Also, like if it were a GPU issue, then we'd just be sitting on VGA.
Because also it has onboard video.
Yeah.
And when it had an external video card, it was doing the same thing.
Yeah. So we've no reason to believe that it's a graphics issue. So yeah. All right. Let's swap the motherboards and see if the behavior changes. So yeah, because yeah, it might be a scrambled BIOS on this. This motherboard has been dicked around with a lot, so you know. Hang on a sec. Take that. Tap. There we go.
I was literally just going to do that.
Well, that's what I was going to do as well, and then I was like, there is no need to do a Larry sort of. Oh, I was like, we could just put one down. So yeah. There are certain times where you'll do something, you'll be like, why did I do that? Why? I could have just put one down. Something about work safe, you know. Is that off? Yes, good. Possibly a wonky pin in the socket there. I'm just going to send it and see what happens. All right, we need one of those. One of those. The one that doesn't have the dink on the side. Actually, technically we should be using this one, so... Oh. The right way round, as a treat. CPU fan. Okay.
HDMI.
Hood me. Bam. Bam. All right. Now we play the waiting game. They are Expo, but also like we're not trying to go into Expo at the moment. We're trying to boot at default settings.
We're trying to post.
Yeah, we're nowhere near Expo problems right now. So yeah. Oh, is it doing something? Oh, it works. Okay. We're getting somewhere then. Oh, okay. That's good, because that means we probably have a scrambled BIOS on that, which is great because we can fix a scrambled BIOS.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, the other thing, the next thing to do for me is to turn this off.
Yeah.
And then turn it straight back on.
Yeah. I also, yeah, we'll do that. I also want to just try and get both modules. I'm tempted to just do a little bit of testing with the memory in here.
But that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Turn this off, turn it back on, make
Yeah.
sure it does it a second time
Yeah.
before we change anything.
Yeah, good shout.
Because
good
we
shout.
need to make sure it will do it a second time.
Yeah.
Because if we change something and then it doesn't do it, we don't know.
Yeah. If we have something that works now, we can do some confidence tests on the RAM just to make sure that so then I can stop being paranoid about RAM.
Yeah.
Right, while we wait for that to post again, I'm going to set up the capture card, I think, because I think we're getting far enough that it's worth having capture.
Yeah. Do you like your BIOSes like your eggs scrambled? Is it going or is it pissing about again? Yeah. That's what I'm saying, we
Yeah.
need to do it a second time.
Okay, this tallies with the known behaviour of this motherboard, though. Just incredibly intermittent. Although it was really quick to post that first time. It just went straight in. But again, this is exactly the behaviour that this motherboard has been historically giving. So, yeah, this is not outrageous.
Yeah. But that's also why I said we should do this before changing anything.
Yes. Yeah, very, very, very
because
wise.
we're having that effectively intermittent fault.
Yeah. Right. HDMI out. And I need one more HDMI cable.
Which is right there.
I was going to get one out of the pile that's been sitting down here.
Okay.
But there isn't one in the pile. Never mind.
It's hanging on the light.
I'll hang you on the light in a minute.
I see.
I don't know what that meant. That was not a threat.
No. Not from you, no.
Ow. Cool. Right, I'm going to... All right, yep.
I was very gingerly putting it in.
Okay. It
Because
looked
I
like you were-
wasn't sure what because it felt like it was slightly angled, and I didn't want to just jam it in there.
It looked like you were lining it up, just getting ready to go mash and snap it off. I'm like, what are you doing? Okay, right. I'm going to hit reset. That didn't seem to do anything. I'm just going to turn it off and on again. Off. Is the latest BIOS? No. This motherboard has an outdated BIOS on it, and this motherboard is not trusted and is a known problem motherboard.
Yeah.
There is lots of stuff that we can do with this to make it maybe better. However, it has just actually posted with the CPU, which confirms we have something that kind of sort of works here. We have just confirmed that the RAM isn't stone dead and the CPU isn't stone dead.
Yeah.
So we're actually an awful lot further along than we were 5 minutes ago. So yeah. So yes, we've got something here. All right. Now we stare at the lights again.
The CPU contains a CPU.
Yeah. But also because this motherboard is wank.
If you'd told me we were doing this, I'd have brought my AM5 PC with me.
Oh, I see. Yeah. No, this was it was kind of these shows are very last minute planning.
Yeah.
Basically, while I'm having lunch, I'm just like, what are we going to do on the podcast today? I've got to sort out the Lianli, so I guess we'll do that. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. Graham, use clips. What does this mean? If you mean for BIOS flashing, absolutely not. So yeah. Right. That doesn't look like it's going to do anything. My inclination is to do a BIOS flashback on the B650 and go back to testing on that one. Now we know that the CPU and the RAM isn't stone dead. Because well, we've got to decide what our objectives are. My objective is to find a motherboard CPU combination out of this that works. And this is a known bad motherboard, and that motherboard has been perfectly functional in the past. Yeah. And right now I believe it just has a scrambled BIOS. So my inclination is to go back to that board and start working on trying to clean that one up. and then after that we start. Well, I mean, I guess we could BIOS flash this and see if it just magically fixes it. So sure, let's do that. Let's BIOS flashback this. What have you already got in terms of downloaded BIOSes?
See if it's in the correct naming format. I haven't renamed it, but also the newer ones seem to not tell you to rename it.
Okay, what have you got? Is this the
latest one for this?
Yeah, this is. What is this again? An X670? Yeah. So I'm just. I'm super not au fait. Also, just because they've jumped a series as well. That's why I'm constantly confused, because we're going from the X670 to the X870.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just like, what happened to the 770? AMD, please. This is why I'm confused about motherboards. But yeah. All right. BIOS is that one. Okay, I'm turning it off. I'm just going to wait for all the lights to die and for the power supply to die. I just want to zoom out a little bit, just because there's not going to be a lot of context for now. So we'll just... All right.
Now we're not looking at lights, I'll bash the brightness back up.
Yeah. Okay, now I will turn the power supply on. And now I will...
Poke the Q flash
button. The Q flash button. And I think you hold this for 10 seconds or 5 seconds or something like that.
I don't know. I've only ever confidently pushed it in and then...
Okay. I'll give it one press. Okay, it turned on. So yeah, that means it's doing something. I'm looking for the light now. So it should check the flash drive for a valid BIOS and then do something, but there's no light on the back at the moment. This is the part of Flashback that I despise, because there's just no feedback. Like right now, I'm like, is it doing anything? Who the hell knows?
No.
The light isn't doing... There's no light at the back.
No.
It looks like it's
not
doing
doing anything, because also the indicator lights are off. For like CPU, motherboard, RAM.
Those don't come on anyway for Flashback, do they?
Well, I've no idea, but those are off. The RAM is off. The light is not on the back.
Yeah. 99% certain that the diagnostic LEDs don't come on for Flashback. So yeah, I'm assuming a no. I think that needs to be renamed.
Yeah,
I will plug it into this PC.
I have no idea what it needs to be named.
What is it currently named? It is currently named that. I'm going to change it to Gigabyte all caps and take a guess. I'm going to change it to gigabyte.bin, all caps.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Someone in chat, if I'm wrong, let me know. If anyone wants to check the BIOS Flashback manual just to confirm, that would be awesome. Oh, also, did you see what format this drive was in?
FAT32.
Cool, thank you.
Well, I've no idea what it was in.
But it is now in
flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I will push the button again. Oh, we're getting flashes now.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. God, it checks it quick, doesn't it? I kind of assumed that it would take it a couple of moments to check the drive, but yeah, we've got a flashing LED on the back now, so it's doing it.
Are those lights on?
Yes, we have a CPU light.
Okay,
yeah,
those lights are on, the RAM is on as well.
Yeah,
so that's fine.
Yeah, that's doing a lot more than it was before. All right, so I'm going to take a seat and we're going to sit and wait for the light to stop flashing. And we're going to see if that magically fixes what ails this board. I'm going to sit suspiciously far back so I have an angle to see the LED from. Because as usual, the LED is like recessed, so you have to peer at it and go, oh,
I can see it's flashing from here.
Well, fine. I'll come here and not be able to see it, and I'll let you tell me when it stops flashing. Then
I was just going to say,
are you happy? Is this what you want?
Fine.
You want to drive? You want to be in charge? You want to be the
the one who can end their sentences? Okay.
You want to be the one and only?
And they can't take that away from me.
Yeah. Is that a 3060 Founders? No, it's a 3080 Ti. Thanks, Steve. So yeah,
it's turned off.
It has indeed. Thanks. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, it's a compact card disk, but it's a long boy. It's as long as my forearm is. Oh, I realise you can't actually see any of that. It's as long as my forearm is, That's how we measure graphics cards around here. Are you having a good time? I shall remove the flash drive and I will try powering it on. Go. Alright, it's on DRAM. It is RAM training.
It's not flicking between the two.
Yeah, this is a good sign. It looks like it's going to do something. However, as we saw from the first try, it's all very well getting it to post once. This one's problem is consistency. Also, although it posted into BIOS, if we'd taken it all the way through to Windows, I would wager it would have been unstable as hell, because again, that was the problem that this board was having. There we go, it posted straight away.
Good.
Whack.
Turn it off again.
This motherboard is whack, man.
Yeah, turn it off.
Yep.
And see if it actually works.
All right. They sound more and more like a married couple. We call ourselves companions.
Do we?
It's as long as my forearm and twice as thick. All right.
Nope, it's broken.
I hate this board so much. Okay, I think this motherboard is going back in the box. However,
right.
let's
can
get
you short the clear CMOS jumper?
Yeah. So I'm going to do a BIOS reset on this. While I'm doing that, can you pull up a BIOS for that, and we'll flashback this one. And with a bit of luck, if we do a flashback on that one, it'll come back to
You know
life.
what? I'll be smart and use a computer that isn't stuffed in front of a computer, the camera. Thanks.
Yeah. And if we're lucky, a BIOS flashback will fix that one, and we'll have a working platform again. And then we can test the memory, and I will have a new platform to shove in my gaming PC. Maybe this weekend, if I can be asked.
It's an Aorus Elite AXV2, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
And also, it is a Rev 1.0. Ugh. All right.
I will give you audio drivers. No thanks.
Funny how a cold boot works. Yeah, I'm getting the same vibes, Graham Ellis. If you buy Gigabyte, you'll get shite. I like Gigabyte motherboards, but their AM5 lineup has been a real crapshoot. Yeah, the B650 one we've got here is one of the only known good ones, but even then we're having problems with it. I have dicked this board around, but there's other motherboards where I've given them so much crap and they've still worked. So, yeah. Kind of frustrating, because for X570, I went back to Asus. And then I kind of got bored of Asus's nonsense again. I was like, I'm going to go back to Gigabyte. And this is what I got for that. I'm really coming around to the idea of just going back to MSI. And everyone kind of craps on MSI for being just solidly meh. But I tell you what, it's been a long time since I've had any issues with an MSI board. So, man, you can't win. You can't win with motherboards. All right, let's BIOS reset this. I'm going to short the jumper pins. Shorting the BIOS reset pins. Did something happen to my gaming PC? No, my gaming PC is fine. However, I've got this 7800 X3D set up, which I won't be able to sell in here because all of my customers have a budget of £600 for a PC. So then I have to force them up to about £800 or £900 to buy something decent, and that won't get you to a 7800 X3D. So basically, I've got this platform, but there's no world where I'm actually going to get it sold in here. So I'm going to be like, you know what, sod it, I'll keep it and sell my kit instead. Because while I don't need an upgrade, but I would certainly like one, because I am heavily CPU limited in most of the tasks that I do. So yeah. All right, I think I've given that long enough. Power on, power on. Now it's cycling again. This is the failure mode of this motherboard, so I'm kind of not surprised. This is exactly what this board was doing when last time I was trying to use it. It just does this, and just give it enough tries, leave it off for half an hour, and it'll give a post again, and you'll be like, okay, it's come back to life. Then it won't work again. So yeah, given the fact that we've just BIOS updated it, clearly they have just not fixed this board, and it's just a crap motherboard.
Or that one is faulty.
Yeah, or this one is faulty, yeah. I would assume it's a bit of, I think it's a bit of column A and a bit of column B. I think it's just, yeah. All right, I'm going to power this off and swap. It's got to be a good motherboard. It's got gaming on it at least twice. It's true. Gaming for gamers.
What's in the box? Camera body.
Huh?
Hold on. What's in the box? Camera body.
Oh, what? I see. I was going to say, is this another Caradog gag? You're on, like, have you used that one yet? Just camera body instead of Caradog Brody.
No.
There's another free one for you.
Yeah.
Even though nothing will ever be funnier than Calibri Body, that one was still legendary. I'm proud of that. All right, obscure means. Oh, didn't I decide that this might have a bend? Oh no, it's posted once, so it can't be that CPU pin. I'm not even gonna bother looking into that.
You have a printer, don't you?
Yes.
Fine. It's not networked, is it?
No, it's USB attached. It is shared on the network.
And it's attached to that computer.
Yeah,
That's fine. I will print that from over there in a minute.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. You'll need to install the drivers for it, is the problem. Right, I'm going to hand this to you. Hup.
There is nothing in any of those slots. None of your stuff is on here. This is none of yours. Good. It's going
And the
in.
mounting hardware is all on it, so it's ready to go back in the box.
Yeah.
Good. All right, so given that this CPU and RAM has posted once, we can go back to this board now and be confident that we should be able to get something out of it. So we're going to do a BIOS flashback. Right. That's in there. We don't need to give it RAM for this, but I will anyway.
Cool.
That's that. That's that. CPU cooler. All right.
Oh, good, I do.
Beep speaker and stuff and things. All right, good. Right, I'm just going to power it on first and see if it does anything, but I'm not going to give this very long. We're just going to give it a moment, just on the off chance that it works, although that would be extremely confusing. All right. Still trying to figure out what the Aorus logo is. It's like a hawk. Is the recession already kicking in? I don't know. Recessions and financial collapses don't really affect me. I endured the last one and I would endure another one. It's RAM training, I think. Purely because people still need computers. Computers still break and still need fixing. Same as the pandemic. It doesn't actually affect me very much because I'm a quote-unquote critical business. It just cycled.
From in there, it sounded like I enjoyed the last one.
I endured the last one.
I was like, oh, okay. Very well.
Cider over the board is a risk here. It's fine. Oh, it's the printer, yeah. It sounded like someone was going, "Arr!" on the front door. it just power cycled again. I'm not sitting around for this. I'm turning it off. I'm going to wait for it to die. Die! All right, power supply on. And I will push the button. Did you rename the file?
Yes.
Cool. All right. The light is doing the blinky blinkies.
Crawling.mp4.
An ascended virus if it's an MP4, yeah.
Oh my god, why are so many pages coming off your printer? Have you printed loads of stuff without turning it on?
No, it's just this is what it does when you start it up. That printer is so annoying because it actually has a sticker on it that goes fast page 1 kind of thing. The point of that printer is its pages per minute isn't stellar, but the point is the first one comes out fairly quickly.
You just have to leave it on in standby.
The issue is that when you turn it on, it takes ages to sort itself out. So if you only print intermittently, you still have to wait forever for it to sort itself out, which kind of defies the point of a fast page 1, in my opinion. But yeah. What board is this? This is a B650 Aorus Elite AX V2. And this one is a known good. This one has been functional.
Yeah. It's been absolutely fine.
Yeah. People are not buying £600 and up computers. Yeah, I mean, I'm being a little bit over dramatic. Oh, that's interesting. It's switched off, but the power light is still on. But parents come in saying, my kid wants a gaming PC, and they're expecting that to cost about £600. And you have to say, actually, they cost a bit more than that, madam, I'm afraid. Ideally, you want to approach this with like £800 and upwards. We can do you something for £600 to £700, but you're going to end up with a second-hand computer fundamentally at that price.
Good. I've printed the label. I will steal the box, and it will be returned.
What's the light doing?
Thanks, Mac.
This is doing something weird now. The BIOS light has gone out. The the fan has stopped. However, we still have a power LED and the RAM is still on. So I've no idea what the heck state we've landed in now. Wait 6 minutes at least. Yeah. I mean, the light has stopped flashing. Again, this is why I hate BIOS flashback, because it's just like, are you done? Is it finished?
Oh, you didn't plug in the HDMI?
No, but it's not gonna. It wasn't going to post on either of those attempts. So, however, I'll plug that in now. Yeah, I mean, it's not turned on. The system is off. The fan is not spinning. Yet the power light is on and the RAM is on. But yeah, just to clarify, the power supply is off. So this is all being powered by 5VSB. Main power is not on. So yeah, HDMI is not the issue here. Okay, I'm going to assume that this is done because the Q flash LED is off.
Yeah. What happens if you just press the power button?
It powers on. It is more on than it was before. All right. We're on the RAM training LED. I'm just going to pull the flash drive out. It's cycled. The fan's just slowed down slightly, so thermal management just kicked in. So I think it's just done the power cycle and now it's RAM training for real. VGA, it just power cycled again. Do you reckon I've just got two faulty motherboards? This motherboard has worked at some point, so I just assumed that it was a known good, just in a problem state. But There's a non-zero chance that it's just dead.
It could have failed.
And if it is, I'm going to be so jaded with Gigabyte because I have had a truly awful experience with the past couple of Gigabyte boards I've used. For AM5 specifically.
Yeah.
SSD never got pulled out. I guess we could pop the SSD out. I can't see a world where that has anything to do with the fault.
Well,
but
it's also a case of if it can't post with an SSD in there, it's faulty.
Yeah, this is also true, but that would give us more information at least. So yeah, it doesn't stop it from being faulty, but at least we can identify that that is the issue with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it one more cycle, then I'm going to say that it's kill. Yeah, no, it just cycled again. Nope.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, Armor just said, have you reset the BIOS on the Gigabyte board? We should try resetting the BIOS again, having just done a BIOS flashback. Yeah. Shouldn't matter, but...
Yeah, every now and then they can get in.
Okay, right, so I'm going to power off. I'm going to throw the kitchen sink at it, so I'll pop the BIOS battery. Someone said earlier on we should check the BIOS battery voltage as well. And that's not a terrible idea. Again, can't see a world where that's the issue, but it doesn't cost anything to check. Come on. Oh, the SSD is sticking. There we go. Boop. Oh, I put WD black in there. That's nice. All right. Boop. Bap. I feel a pressing need to imitate sounds that equipment makes when I turn it on. Huh. Oh, it's 2.9. You know, that's low. Oh, I'm going to be kind of annoyed if that's it. But 2.9 is low. You know, if I said that was flat, there would be an argument in the comments section over that. However, I class 2.9 as flat. I find it hard to believe that would block post, but that's certainly low enough that I would expect it to potentially cause problems. Because also, that's 2.9 out of circuit, so in circuit it's going to sag a little bit more when there's a load on it. Only by like maybe 50 milliamps or something, but still it will just put... You know, in the motherboard, that voltage will pull down a little bit further. And then also, it's then got to go through a diode, which means by the time it actually gets to the PCH, it's more like 2.8, maybe 2.7. And at that point, it's just like 2.7 is not 3 volts, you know. So, yeah. I'm going to get another one. Have I got another one? Oh, good, I did buy more. I didn't just drop them. I had to buy a new packet of these recently, so I wasn't sure.
I see you haven't upgraded to batteries that are 3.3 in the packet.
No. Because I'd probably be paying like £1 per cell or something annoying like that.
But what voltage is that cell that you've just taken out?
I don't know. These GPs, these heckin', don't knock my unknown Chinese brand. How dare you?
Because if it's 2.9 volts,
then I'll be very disappointed. It's 3.3, asshole. Yeah.
Excellent.
All right. Oh. Okay, right. Good chance that was it, in which case that's going to be kind of embarrassing because someone did say at the start of the stream, check the BIOS battery voltage. But yeah, desktop motherboards, I don't expect a flat BIOS battery to block post. I expect that to cause other weird oddities like it not keeping time, not keeping BIOS settings, RAM training on every single boot, that kind of thing. However, I wouldn't expect it to prevent the board from working, which is what we're experiencing.
I don't know why it would have any bearing on it working.
Exactly, but it's not unheard of. Like, it's worth noting that a Dell laptop with a BIOS battery at 2.9 won't post.
Why?
Just straight. It just won't work. I don't know,
What?
but Dell laptops do not like a flat BIOS battery. So that's the thing. Is just, even though this seems absurd, it's absolutely a thing. This is why I'm so strict with BIOS battery voltages. When I replace BIOS batteries, a lot of people go, "Oh, 2.9 is fine." I'm like, no, it's not. It might be okay in your particular instance, but I have seen plenty of times where it's been causing problems. And considering, like, that pack of GP batteries that I bought, that's like 20 batteries or something, and I paid like £3 for it. So it's just like, they don't cost anything, just change it. Watch it just not work now. So, yeah. Okay. GP is a known good Hong Kong brand. Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. I wasn't dissing that brand specifically, just, you know, dissing you for potentially buying batteries that were 2.9 volts out of the packet.
Just cycled again. It's not looking good.
Did it actually cycle? Oh, I didn't see it.
It just cycled,
okay.
yeah. I'm not holding my breath here, but we'll give it like a couple of minutes. I don't think it's going to work, but yeah. Reset one more time, or reset an older version of the BIOS. Might be less RAM picky. Maybe.
Yeah.
Try the other RAM stick. Yeah. No, it just cycled again. It's not going to go. All right. Okay. Are we going to try an older BIOS? I don't see a world where that will matter.
No.
Because, especially if we're suspecting that it doesn't like the RAM, an older BIOS is only going to make things worse. Because, newer BIOSes improve RAM compatibility.
Certainly is the latest one on this. It was a GSA update one as well.
Yeah. So I don't see that being a thing. That's disappointing. For a moment, I thought we had something with the flat BIOS battery. And I was like, oh, yeah, I think we've just found it. But, yeah, disappointing. I will also switch to a different RAM slot again, because we have changed RAM slots, but to the same channel. Maybe we've got a dead RAM channel.
Yeah. Where is the BIOS chip? Is it easily accessible?
Probably under the PCH cover. We can go digging for it though, yeah. Oh, it might be there actually. I need to take a closer look at that. Oh no, that's power system. Never mind. Yeah, it just cycled again.
Cycled slowly through all of them. If we're going to get post on that, then...
Yeah, I'll wait for it to cycle one more time, then I'll move to a different RAM slot. I'll move to, yeah, it just cycled again. Okay, I'm going to move to slot 3.
Here.
Ba, 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 ba.
What RAM is this? Is this the 6000 90 kit? Oh no. It's the 3674. Fine.
Should be okay.
Oh yeah.
Good, not great, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this. I'm a bit sad if this motherboard is Cactus. But also this motherboard is probably the easiest to replace out of what we've got here.
Yeah.
Kind of lucky that we got that post out of the other motherboard that just confirmed that the RAM and CPU wasn't completely stone dead, because otherwise we'd be pretty stuck right now. But yeah, the other motherboard is definitely dead. That's hanging out on RAM right now. That's really thinking about it.
Yeah, that's what it was doing.
I want to read the chat, but also I'm trying to keep my eye laser focused on those LEDs. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going to wait. Whoops. I'd rip the BIOS chip off and reflash it before condemning it. Yeah, I could agree with that. Wrong slot hangs the RAM. A modern motherboard should be able to boot it with any slot.
Basically anything that's DDR or newer.
Yeah.
For a single stick doesn't matter.
Like obscure OEM boards, I can understand those being like, no, you have to put it in a certain slot just because they're crap motherboards. However, any aftermarket motherboard, this should not be a problem. Might suboptimal, maybe. Enough to block post? No. Is this the good stick? Yeah. Yeah, this is the known good one. Or at least the one that has given us a post before.
Yeah.
That's just sitting solidly on training now. I think we're going to give this the benefit of the doubt. We're going to give it a couple of minutes, I think.
Yeah.
We'll give it the DDR5 long RAM training, takes 5 minutes to post nonsense timeout for this. You've got your doubts that the Flashback did anything. Kind of same, Greg. Flashback isn't the be-all and end-all. Sometimes Flashback will not fix... if the BIOS is really, really scrambled, a Flashback won't do it.
I know you've said this before, but where are the actual settings saved? Are they saved on the chip that you update when you update the BIOS?
Correct.
So if you zeroed that chip, then flashed it, then put it back on the board, it is reset.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. The BIOS chip is an E squared PROM. It is effectively an SPI flash chip. It is non-volatile flash memory to all intent and purpose. Mm-hmm. So it is all a glorified USB stick kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there is a section of it that is called the NV section, which is where the motherboard stores the settings. And
is that NV for non-volatile?
Yeah. So it isn't that there are two separate parts of memory. However, there is a partition of it per se, if you imagine it as a drive. And when you reset the BIOS, the PCH will erase that section of the BIOS chip.
How does it erase it if it hasn't got power?
Because it erases it on next boot, I think, because
so if it's actually, completely messed up in some fashion, it is possible that you cannot actually clear the BIOS.
Maybe. The PCH does this in hardware, so it doesn't require the BIOS to know how to reset the BIOS if that scans.
So it could reset it even if there was no BIOS chips on the board? The reset could be reset. The reset operation could be performed even if there was no BIOS chip on the board for the board to boot.
Yes, it would attempt that even if there's nothing there to reset.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Because contrary to popular belief, the BIOS battery is not powering the BIOS chip. The BIOS battery just simply provides a voltage into the real-time clock section of the PCH. And when that power goes low, either by shorting out the reset jumpers, pressing a reset button, or popping out the battery, the PCH interprets that as a request to reset the NV section of the BIOS chip. So this is why BIOS button, jumpers, BIOS battery, it's all the same. It doesn't matter. And I pop out the battery because that's usually the most accessible thing to find. You don't have to hold anything at a weird angle. You just take the battery out. It's the simplest operation. So yeah. BIOS needs to run in some way for the reset to happen. Oh, okay, that's interesting.
So if it is completely screwed and cannot pass line 1,
oh, okay, yeah. So
in theory, you cannot reset.
Yeah, so if the BIOS is absolutely munted, then okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, okay.
I wasn't aware of that. I thought the PCH could do that in hardware.
Yeah.
Yeah, very well. Okay, this isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
All right, are we going to program the BIOS then?
Might as well.
Yeah.
Because the next thing I'll do is open up Amazon Live Chat and get a refund arranged.
Yeah.
And then I'll send it off to them on Monday.
And I will be like, and then I will go and buy a motherboard that's not made by Gigabyte.
Yeah, you'll buy a Tai Chi Lite.
Sure. I've had a Tai Chi before. I like the Tai Chi motherboards. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right then. Hell, if you can get a refund on both the motherboards, I might buy something more. How much is a Tai Chi Lite?
$280, I think.
Yes, I'll buy a Tai Chi Lite. I was about to say maybe I'll buy something more fancy than that, but no, at $280, that's about as much as I can afford right now.
Well, have you sorted out your driving license?
I'll sort out your driving license in a minute.
There's nothing wrong with my driving license.
Okay, right. I'm going to unplug this and we're going to find the BIOS chip on it.
Your returns.
DDR4 slot tester for the shop.
B650.
What does that prove that we've not already been able to prove just by moving things around, though? That's the thing.
What does it prove? That we know that there's nothing wrong with the RAM?
Yeah. Like, I feel like a slot tester is only useful if you don't have known good RAM. And yeah, I'll concede that we didn't have known good RAM today, but that's a skill issue. You should have known good RAM in stock. This is the same argument as people who tell me that I need a power supply tester. You know what's better than a power supply tester? Another power supply. Because if you plug in another power supply and it works, then you know that the power supply is cactus. So, you know. Yeah. CPU to pin slot connectivity? Sure, but putting in a known good RAM kit will also tell you if you've got a bad motherboard. I guess it can tell you, maybe it can tell you if it's the motherboard or CPU, which might be interesting. But I don't know. All right. I'm just going to take this off frame for a second, stare at it. BIOS chip, where are you? I think it's going to be under the PCH cover. Yeah. All right, I'm just going to take off the M.2 covers and just check that it's not under there. Then we've got to take off the PCH cover or heatsink. Whoop. Ah, there we go. Main BIOS. Does this thing not have dual BIOS? Oh, it's only a B650, so yeah. Okay. I can't see a world where they'd put the main BIOS there and a backup BIOS somewhere else. Typically, Gigabyte will put the main BIOS chip and a backup BIOS chip adjacent to each other because they're both wired into the same bus. There's no reason not to put them next to each other on the board. So there's our BIOS chip. So yeah. All right. Dual BIOS is a thing of the past mostly. Yeah. It makes sense. Ironically, it might have saved us. If this is a scrambled BIOS, having dual BIOS might have got us out of this. But on the flip side, though, I've never really trusted Gigabyte's dual BIOS system because it's kind of just arbitrary when it works. If you're going to have dual BIOS, it has to have a physical switch. Otherwise, I don't trust it. I will only trust a dual BIOS system that actually has a physical switch on the motherboard to select the BIOS. Because Gigabyte's one, it's supposed to automatically fall back, but I've never trusted that. Okay, right. I'm going to I'm going to turn on the microscope, plug that into the capture card, and carry this over to the other bench and desolder it there. And also I'm going to turn on the YouTube rig. Actually, I'm going to turn on the YouTube rig and plug the capture card into that, and I'll just do it over there, rather than dragging a load of equipment over to the podcast bench. Doo-doo. Q-Flash without CPU and RAM, as they recommend. What do people think of that? Stream RTMP to PC, VLC? No, we have capture cards. There are far easier ways of doing that. You plug a HDMI cable into the graphics card. Are we going to try another BIOS flashback? I can't see a world where that's going to work, but we are about to get extreme with this.
I'd just take it off and flash it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bother with flashback if we're already just going to flash it with a programmer.
I don't think that's going to work, yeah. I think it's an interesting... Sai says I would as well. Yeah, try no RAM or CPU. You know what? Sure, let's try it one more time. Because also, like, if I were fixing this in the shop... Well, to be honest, if I was fixing this in the shop, then yeah, I'd try it one more time just to be sure. Because if you're going to take a soldering iron to a motherboard, you're getting hectic at that point. So yeah. All right, there, motherboard, flashback, let's go. I'll plug in the EPS cable, but I don't think it actually matters because there's no CPU in there. Ooh. BIOS. USB 3.2. Okay, power on. And Q-Flash. Boop. No power light this time. But Q-Flash is going and the power supply is on. So yeah. You are fixing this in the shop. I mean in terms of... Okay, sorry, let me rephrase that. There's two angles that I can come at this from today. Is if this was booked in for a repair and I'm doing work where I've got a job to do and I'm trying to get to the solution as fast as possible, what would I do? Versus when we're on the podcast, we do a lot of stuff for science. If we're on the podcast here, we're going to try a lot of things where we would do it just to find out, does that actually work? In the shop, I would skip past those things and be like, I don't think that's going to work, so I'm not going to bother. But in the shop, I'll indulge things that I think are a bad idea. Sorry, on the podcast, I'll do wacky stuff for the sake of interest. Do I think it's going to work? No. Would it be interesting to put it to the test? Yes. Will it blend? Good question. The power supply has turned off. Blend. I wonder if that channel is still going. I've not checked in on Will It Blend for like 20 years.
I don't know. I never looked at it at all.
It's very simple. It's a YouTube channel that just put all kinds of things into a blender to find out if it would blend.
Okay. Very well.
Right. That did not take very long. I think that took a suspiciously short time. But yeah. Yeah, this is what I had the last time I tried to send it back, but whatever. All right. I think it's done. Testing it again. RAM and cooling as a treat. Cool. I think that's enough for it to go. Bam. HDMI.
Yes.
Hood me. go.
Go, go, go.
And it's go, go, go. Right, while that sits and thinks about its crimes, I'm going to log on to the YouTube rig and get that ready.
I'm going to kick this case.
I'll kick your case in a minute. Do.
Apparently their last video was 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Well, that's considering, like, Will It Blend is Old Testament. You know, they're really Old Testament. So 3 years ago is a lot more recent than I thought. I hope they made a crap ton of money and sailed off into the sunset. Because that's basically what you do with YouTube, you know. Sooner or later, that ride is going to end. So you kind of just want to make your money and then get out.
Hey!
Oh, did it work?
Yes.
Okay, right, hang on a sec. Who was it who said, do it no CPU? That was CB, I think it was. Holy crap. I don't believe it. I'm going to bring up Capture. It heckin' posted. Unbelievable. Capture. Okay, I went to Capture just as Caradog reset it, but...
There you go.
BIOS has been reset. EVGA XR1. Deactivate, reactivate. There we go. Unbelievable. Yeah. Alright, that's how you're supposed to do it. It should make a difference, in my opinion. I don't think that, like, I'm not saying that just because I just got proven wrong. I'm saying that because I don't think it should make a difference if the CPU and RAM is in the board or not.
Good.
However, that much being said, the fact that that just worked means next time I want to do a BIOS flashback on a board, you're damn right I'm going to take out the CPU and RAM. Because that gives me enough doubt that I believe that that matters now. Although this is a case of once, so... Yeah, that looks consistent, doesn't it?
That's more consistent, yeah. That's
Okay. Shall we try
good.
logging...
Why is it on BIOS version F1? Isn't that really old?
Concern?
Yeah. It should be on F32B.
Oh.
Has it just switched to a different RAM chip, BIOS chip?
Maybe. Like, again, most Gigabyte motherboards have dual BIOS.
Support.
Yeah, go to the specs of the board and find out if it's got...
Manuel.
Yeah.
English.
Maybe there is another BIOS chip under the PCH, and we've finally forced it onto the backup BIOS. So my inclination now is to do a BIOS update from within setup. Check you're looking at the right board rev. Yeah, we're on a rev 1. That wouldn't change between revisions though. They wouldn't put a dual BIOS system on a revision 2 of the board. It would actually be a refresh at that point, and it would have a different model number. Gigabyte has a BIOS chip that stores the original BIOS and an updated one. Yeah, that's the dual BIOS system. However, I didn't think this had dual BIOS because if there is a second BIOS chip, it's not next to the main one. And Gigabyte in the past always put them next to each other. I kind of want to take the PCH heatsink off now and see if I can find a second BIOS chip. One chip, 2 partitions.
Yeah.
Can anyone confirm?
That's what
That would be
kind
really interesting. If they actually put the backup BIOS image on the same chip, that would be extremely interesting. It makes sense. That's just not how it's worked in the past. That would be ultra cursed. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Yeah. Right, you've tried to turn off and turn on this. I'll do another one just for posterity. Power off. Power on. going to arrange things slightly. Yeah, it's booting consistently, so we'll... in a moment. Ooh. And rotate. There we go. Ah! Why? Okay, there we go. Alright, Cowdog is doing stuff. Update BIOS. BIOS is protected by secure flash. It must restart. Okay, sure, fine. Whack. Ready to reboot. Okay, so now it's rebooting and it's going to do the flash.
If it then says updating backup partition, we'll then know.
Yeah. All right, verifying file. Updating BIOS now. All right. I'm going to move us to the other side of the screen so you guys can see the text. Oops. Wah. Wah. Those chips are expensive, they won't put 2. Sure, but why a giant one? It is a 32 megabyte chip though, yeah.
Which was standard for X570.
Yeah, but then they were huge for X570. Like these sodding 32 megabyte chips were a problem for X570. I'm sure they would not still be using them if they could help it. But then on the flip side, if they're already used to using the 32 meg chips and then they just managed to get the BIOS size down to 16. But what size is the actual BIOS file?
I don't know.
If the BIOS file is 16 megabytes, I think that would confirm this theory.
12?
Yeah, 12. That's a...
32.
Oh, yeah, 32 uncompressed.
32.768.
Yeah. Well, the updated BIOS is a 32 meg image, so that, to me, suggests that it's not going to... Don't know. I'd need someone who actually can confirm it. I'm not sure I believe that there is a backup image in there. Maybe try the same remedy for the other board. That's not a terrible idea. They do it for future CPU support. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe they did put a big BIOS chip on there just purely for
Yeah, they don't want to get caught out like they did with
X570, yeah.
X470, B450.
Yeah. Yeah, because like they knew they were going to do another 5 years of support, so
it should be a case that obviously, in theory, they'll need minimum three major generations of space, 2 minor generations of space, kind of thing.
Yeah. Lead Farmer, you're saying it's boot block. Can you explain boot block to me? Because I don't understand what boot block is. And JD is saying, no, that wouldn't be a thing. Q-Flash exists, so you don't need backup. I agree with that statement. With the advent of Q-Flash, a backup BIOS is kind of unnecessary. It makes sense on an extreme overclocking motherboard where you would have different settings loaded into your different BIOSes, but for the sake of reliability, it doesn't make sense. Ah, it's changed. See, that's definitely a new BIOS now because it's visibly changed.
Yeah, it's also
and it's also saying F32, yeah.
And given us the actual Agisa version from this screen.
I will move us across the screen again just because top left is more important. Alright. Okay, so the board lives again. F1 boot block, I think, is generic version rollback. Okay. When you flash a BIOS, it flashes the boot block area for post, the rest for BIOS, for flashing reliability. Okay, so like the boot block is the main thing to get the board to turn on, and then the rest of the BIOS is the tiny operating system that is a modern UEFI. That is my interpretation of that. Okay, so we have something that works.
Where's the other module?
Here. You could lob the SSD in there as well and see if we can get to Windows and confidence test in Windows. Are we going to bust out that other motherboard and do the same thing to that for curiosity?
Can do.
Yeah. Piano of a wide floor lamp could explain deeper. Yeah, fair enough. I understand that this is a lot of information to explain in a chat, in a live stream chat. That's the problem with a lot of these things, is that there is an answer to these questions, but it's a bit complicated to just put in a chat box.
I did the camera that time.
Yeah,
so
I
this
saw
needs
that.
to discharge enough for it to do that.
Yeah,
Fine.
whack. I mean, it's a kilowatt power supply. When that turns on and the main input cap charges up, that's gonna pull on the mains. God, my head is trash right now. Not just because this is a strong cider, but I was drinking last night and I feel like I've had a cold all day. So I'm glad I'm not trying to desolder BIOS chips from a motherboard. I know some people that really dislike Gigabyte, but to be honest, I love their Mobos. These little things are why. Yeah, I like Gigabyte as well. I think Gigabyte take a lot of crap that they don't deserve, and they've made some cracking motherboards. However, their AM5 ones are a bit hit and miss, though. This is a known thing. Anti-surge 4-way. I don't think it's surge, it's sag. The mains wiring in this room is not the mains wiring on the ring that all these sockets are on is pretty shoddy, to be honest. I'm fairly certain that the ring is broken at some point, so it's actually a spur instead of a ring. Do you want to install Gigabyte Control Center? Okay.
There you go.
Do you just want to bash it with like Cinebench and then something that will hit
Not
the RAM?
really.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. Good point. Well, still, the fact that it starts and runs is that's as good a confidence test as any, I guess, isn't it? We can dick around to see if we can get it into Expo, but there's not really a lot of point in doing that unless we actually get some a mounted cooler on it.
Yeah.
Do you use a UPS? No. The power here is reliable enough that it's generally not required. Although, to be honest, like, if the capture card actually locked up and needed to be initialized again, this would bother me a lot. If the picture just flickers for a moment, that doesn't really bother me, if I'm honest. It's a live stream. There's always a bit of scuff. All right. Okay, I'm happy. I'm feeling good. My stuff works.
Oh, interesting. Wild.
Cool. All right. Are we getting the other board out?
Can do.
Did you put it back in the box on the shelf? Or...
Ah, interesting. I put it on the front counter with the printout to return it.
Aha, okay. I take it it's been accepted for a return.
That board was accepted for a return for repair whenever you did it.
Yeah.
And I was just going to send it off to them.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're going to... Yeah, for sending in for repair, that is. Yeah,
Yeah,
understandable. Yeah.
I was just actually going to send it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi.
Little things, please, little minds. while bigger fools look on.
There you go.
Thanks, CB, parentheses, Steve. Ooh. Where's the ESD bag? I don't know.
It's on the floor.
Probably. Yes.
No, it's on the floor.
It is on the floor.
There you go. Ta-da.
Cool.
Expode.
Explode? I don't want that. Groovy. Let's shut that puppy down and plug this thing back in again. I'm going to get the BIOS ready for it.
Ah, that's cool.
Yeah? Oh. You can't just say that's cool and not say what's cool. We're on a live stream. You have to tell people what you're thinking about.
Yeah, I thought you were about to say something, so I didn't want to talk over you.
Oh.
The DDR5 DIMM is actually reporting the SPD hub temperatures and voltages and stuff, and that's actually just picking it up.
Oh, as in like it's getting temperatures and voltages from the RAM?
Yeah, from the actual
From the modules.
PMIC. Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
Gaming X AX. What is that? Gaming X AX. Yeah. Do we know what version that board is?
Rev 1.
Cool. Thank you. Support.
Cool. Are we going to break this down again?
Yeah, may as well, because I would say we're done with this now.
Cool.
Well, leave the CPU and RAM in there.
Yeah.
And, oh, actually, no, take the CPU and RAM out because we're going to test this once we flashed it again. So, yeah, break it down. Yeah. Break it down.
Ha!
CPU support. I want downloads.
Ooh.
BIOS.
I want downloads. Ha!
Yeah, that's me just trying to function noises. It's a miracle I make it through these streams as it is. With my slurred speech and everything. Right. Delete. Paste. I don't know if I want this to work or not. You know when you're doing diagnostics and there are certain things where like you don't know if you want it to work or not, because if it works that would be good because you fixed it. But you'd be annoyed because you've just discovered a fix that you could have done 6 months ago. And so it's a case of you don't want it to work because that means you won't have egg on your face, you know.
I guess it depends on whether it's a thing I want to work or not.
Yeah, true that. Hi, do you repair motherboard bent pins? I've been known to. Depends on the board and depends on how it's coming in, and it depends on what state it's in.
Nebraska.
Yeah, what condition it's in, and also what country you're in, and also like what happened to the board. If you've just bought a motherboard on eBay and you bought it because it had bent pins, then that is probably a dead board that someone mangled the pins on deliberately in order to make it look like it was probably fixable.
Which way round does this go in? Oh, it is that way round. Oh, and it goes over that. Okay.
However, if you accidentally dropped your CPU into an LGA, I would certainly take a swing at that for you.
Dusty.
Honestly, I'd be more annoyed if it works now and the fix was that easy. That's exactly my point, Reploid. So cynical. Am I wrong, Stevie? Am I wrong? I mean, I could be right, but like, yeah. You buy a motherboard on eBay where it just says doesn't work because it's got bent pins and it's from like an IT company. I don't know, man. You bought 6 boards that like only one of them was deliberately balked. Yeah, that's fair. I am being cynical, it's true, but that's an expensive roll of the dice because if the board doesn't work and it got sabotaged, then you've got no comeback for that. That's the problem with it, is that yeah, you roll that die, you roll those dice entirely at your own risk. If you're buying the motherboard for 20 quid, sure, I might roll the dice on that. But if someone's selling a modern motherboard for, if someone's selling a modern motherboard with bent CPU pins for 100 quid, no, I wouldn't roll those dice. All right, we are Q flashing this. The BIOS Flashback LED is flashing away. They're around $40 each. Yeah, that's fair. Well, it sounds like you got a good result on that at least. Is there a way to return spring to micro USB locking teeth? I don't think so, no. But the locking teeth are on the cable, so you just replace the cable. Any faulty motherboard worth more than 25 quid or about $30, not worth the risk. I would agree with that personally. Fluffy Tail has apparently had success, but I think you've gotten lucky there, if I'm honest. Alright, that looks done, and it took about the same amount of time as the other one. Alright, place your bets, chat. I wanna see bets in chat for works or doesn't work. It goes the right way up on AM5, yeah. We've spent so long training ourselves for the CPU to be 90 degrees anti-clockwise. And now it goes the right and now it goes the right way up. Lead Farmer is a fence sitter and says 40% chance it works. You filthy mid-ground. What's the term when someone is in the middle?
Centralist?
Centralist, yeah. You filthy centralist. Right, we've got lots of people saying it's going to work. A couple of people saying no. Mid-maxer. Bald says, I bet a penny. Sai coming in with the 30 pence.
I was just triple checking I wasn't going to do what you did.
Yeah, that's the problem with that thing, is you can just put it in completely wrong. All right, HDMI as a special. I'm going in confident. I'm not saying it's going to work, but we're plugging in the HDMI
No, it
cable.
needs to work twice.
Yeah, oh, that's a good point, actually. There's a very good chance it will post the first time. Yeah, all right. I'm going to go to capture, and I'm going to try and punch down. All right, it's RAM training. It's power. Oh, that's a post. But then we thought it would the first time anyway, so this doesn't mean anything. Okay. BIOS has been reset. We have something.
Oh, I didn't actually plug that in. That's why that doesn't work.
All right, chat's very confident.
Right.
Okay.
Once.
First post is once. It's got to work this time. Wah, 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 wah. That flickering, that's what it was doing before. This board is cactus. Heck, this board.
Yeah.
It said BIOS version 24F. And we were expecting 32B. Should we program the BIOS chip on this?
No, fine.
Also, did you put the M.2 cover on the other board?
Yes.
Cool.
I added all of the parts to the board
Thank
and
you.
then put it in the box.
Sure the file name is right on the flash drive? Yes, gigabyte.bin. And it did something. If the file name isn't correct, it won't do anything. It will, if it doesn't have the right file name, then it just turns off again. It checks for a file name, and if it doesn't find it, it just immediately stops. Whereas it came on for an amount of time and did stuff. All right. Yeah, take the M.2 cover off, and let's just see what the BIOS setup is under there. And we'll see what chips we find. Try it again, no CPU, get it into BIOS and then update it again. We just did. That's literally what we just went through, Fluffy Tail. We flashed it with no CPU or RAM in it.
T2.
Camera directional noises. I lost the bet, disappointing. Thanks for coming through, Turnip Gaming. The real talk. Whoop. All right, well there's your two B560, B650 chips. Because remember, everyone, there's no such thing as an X670 chip. And M.2 cover off, because I think that's where the actual BIOS chips are.
Yeah, but what I want to just see, because it will post once, I want to see what it does without a BIOS battery. If you can get it to effectively function.
Sure. Okay.
Because it's resetting itself each time it turns off.
Do you just want to rest the PCH heatsink on there? Because I've no idea.
Yeah, I will do.
Yeah. I don't know how much heat those chips actually knock out.
Where are the holes? There.
Caradog not being able to find the holes. Been there.
There you go.
All right. Maybe if you can get into BIOS again, you can flash it from there. Might work. It could do.
Good. Good, good, good.
I don't know if that's reliable.
Good.
Have you checked the BIOS battery voltage on this one? That's the one you just popped out, right?
I've no idea.
Okay.
There's the other one.
If that's not a GP battery, then that's the one that came. Yeah, this KTS battery. That's the one that came off of the B series.
I wasn't sure if that was a battery for a second.
Yeah, this GP battery is the one that's come off of this, because obviously I've already tried replacing the battery on it.
No, that's exactly the same.
Oh yeah, seen. Yeah. This battery is on 3.03, so it's not great, but we've no reason to believe that that's the problem. Said the actress to the bishop, yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's what it does with the wrong file name and so on. It just goes
Sure.
off.
Okay, right. So let's put the BIOS battery in, and if we reseat the CPU, it'll probably post, and then we can try and see if it'll Q-flash without rebooting. Sorry, by Q-flash I mean flash from BIOS.
Yeah, as opposed to Q-Flash Plus.
Yeah, because I think that's a good shout. I have a suspicion that it's going to need to do a reboot to go into flash mode, and then it's going to fail. But I think that's worth a try. Flash without CPU, we've already tried that. With this motherboard, eventually you'll get into the BIOS, but it needs a long rest before it does it again. I agree, Reploid. I think we might be able to trick it into posting by reseating the CPU, though. On your earlier comment, Graham, about these things sitting on the shelf that turn out to be an easy fix, in my past those were usually house or my personal things that were put off. Yeah, I get you. Some things you put it off and then it turns out to be a really easy fix and you could have just done it at any time.
Get in there.
All right. I'm going to put in the pen drive as well, so we've got a BIOS file ready. Okay, so hopefully it's going to, if it posts this time, we'll dive straight into BIOS update and try and update the BIOS. The worst thing that can happen is it scrambles the BIOS, in which case we're no worse off than we were before.
No, we're not going to
yeah.
post at all.
It's going to need to rest again, isn't it? Okay, so we don't really want to sit and leave it because we don't have time for that because we're at 2 hours 37 minutes.
No, we're just going to return it as faulty.
Yeah.
I don't really see the point in keeping it.
No, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Do you want to turn it off and pop off the M.2 cover and we'll just have a look at what the BIOS chip setup on that is? I'm expecting to see just a single BIOS chip like on the other board. And part of me wants to go for a BIOS reprogram because I'd wager I can resolder that chip and clean it up enough that no one will know that someone's been messing about with the board. These aren't customers, are they? No, this is all my stuff. So yeah. At this point, I agree, the board is faulty and should be sent back. We're just doing science now.
There's M-BIOS.
Yeah, so once again, just a single main BIOS chip. And under the PCH, no, there ain't no other BIOS chips there. So yeah, as expected. If there were a backup BIOS, it would be next to the main one. I don't think I've got any examples lying around, but if you look at a Gigabyte motherboard that has dual BIOS, there'll be two chips directly next to each other. One of them will have M-BIOS, the other one will have B-BIOS. So yeah. Okay, I am going to use the bathroom and then I'm going to YOLO that chip off the board and we're going to reprogram it.
Very well.
So yeah, I'll be back in a moment, everyone.
And this week is a special treat. You take your microphone off.
I'm going to take the microphone off. It is happening again. So long, everyone.
Hot mic! Hot mic! Luckily, the microphone is here, so that isn't a problem. Do, 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 do. Ah, the carnival. It begins again. With singing and all. Yes, Caradog, you are the problem. I'm not the problem. I'm the solution. You will be resolved by me. I will resolve you. You return.
Hello there.
Welcome back.
All right. The band is passing by.
That's how you spell that. There you go.
Okay, right. Are we getting hectic? We're getting hectic. Did you hear that?
It kind of sounded like a horse.
The band just stopped playing outside and like a single person went, yeah, kind of thing.
But it sounded way more like a horse.
Yeah. Okay, right. HDMI. Bop, bada, bop.
An American tourist.
Mark on red.
Oh, you've plugged the capture into that computer.
Yes.
I was just like, why is there a desktop?
There is a desktop.
What is going on
I
here?
see, yes. Okay, right. OBS.
Capture with face. There we go.
Yeah, this just allows me to capture from multiple locations despite what I'm actually using. Although mainly just because if I'm going to do the reprogramming, I'm going to be doing it from this computer, so I can capture the reprogramming as well. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Right, I should double check that I actually have a programmer that can do this chip first. So I shall unplug the motherboard. This photograph was taken by Caradog, just out of interest.
Look at this photograph.
Every time I do it, it makes me laugh.
Look at it. Isn't it delightful?
Right.
Apparently any programmer will work, but also like, is your question more a case of will it fit?
Facelink. Right, hold on a sec. Just OBS is doing something weird. I'm like, what on earth is going on here?
I don't know. What is going on here?
Live gaming. Yeah, that's what I want. Live gamer, why aren't you capturing anything?
Is it not plugged in?
It is, yeah. I'll replug it. No, it's just... What? Oh, I see what's happening. There we go. All right. Live Gamer HD.
Did you have a force projected?
I had a black screen that was layered on top of it, so it looked like there was no signal from it. It's because the cheap AliExpress capture card is plugged in, and that just gives a black screen when there's no signal. I need to take that out and start using that that Elgato card that we've got. Right, where
you picked up for 17 pence.
Yes. Right, I think this goes over here.
Yes.
There
I
we
can
go.
now see
All right. So, okay, right. So I'm just going to see if my RT809F can reprogram this. Just because that programmer is faster than the CH341A.
Yes.
So I'm just going to see if it's compatible first.
Yes.
So I'm just quickly starting the software for that, and
Apparently Arnold says to select a generic MX25Q256.
I should hope so, because that's what's written on the chip. So yeah, right.
I am simply relaying the information as provided.
Understandable. Right, one sec. I'm also just going to change my setup because I can do something a bit more clever here. If we do that,
Yes.
primary monitor capture. Right.
And that, yes, it is a 1.8 volt chip.
Right, hold up a sec. I'm going to do you a trade. I'm going to take that away.
Are you?
I missed.
Nope, nope. Up, up. There we go.
Ah, this is mine. I'm taking it. And I'm going to give you that one instead.
Okay, you did it.
And sorry about the really gross cropping on that, but it does mean that I can see the same thing that you guys are seeing.
Oh no. That's horrid.
Yes. However, it basically, the only other way of doing this, I don't know. Do we want to make it big? I can do something a bit less gross than that. I'll let you anti-discuss us this. Right, what am I looking for? Right, 25Q2, whoops, 25Q256. 25Q256. Oh yeah, it's got it. No problem. Giga device.
That'll do.
Groovy.
good
Yeah,
enough.
that's fine. We have a programmer that can work with this. So I'm going to go back to the thing. So let's window projector source. Oh, that's display capture. Window projector source. Okay, and let's bring the microscope all the way up because we don't need to be super close. And I need to get my cider because I'm already tipsy and this is a terrible idea, but I may as well go all in.
I see.
And I'll grab a stool as well. Right,
Oh no. Do not set the bounding box size to negative.
right, am I going to hot air this off the board or shall I try and soldering iron hero it?
Right, now you've done that and selected your position, I will now rearrange the window. Oh, you've moved.
I'm putting it centered on the scope, so right.
There you go.
No,
if you
I'm gonna
tombstone
hot
the
air it.
resistors around the chip, you can use pogo pins or wires, and no need to desolder the chip.
I don't like doing in-circuit in-circuit programming because, yeah, I'd rather desolder the chip because desoldering is something that I'm familiar with, whereas programming in circuit is spooky because your programmer is then injecting onto more than just the BIOS chip. And yeah, I don't know. I should get practice on it, but yeah. Either way, I don't have a known good clamp anyway, so it's kind of neither here nor there. I do not have a good clamp, so there is no point in attempting to clamp. I'm just putting some Captain tape around the plastic stuff nearby. There we go. That's not very good Captain taping, but it should just reduce the worst of it. All right, let's get this guy off the board. Tweezers at the ready. flux. Here we go.
Fire the captain tape. Captain.
Oh, actually,
More flux!
I'm going to put a bigger nozzle on. Big boy nozzle.
You need your hot air bidet. Also, why is your tape...
This captain tape is fake, so it doesn't work. I need to get new stuff, but I don't actually use it very often, so it's better than nothing, though. Please, no bully.
Too late. You are committing crimes. You will be bullied.
It's true.
It is, in fact, Crapton tape.
It is just sticky tape. However, oh god, no, it's awful. I shouldn't have put it on there in the first place. All right, there we go. We're cooking. We're cooking.
If we hot air a stroopwafel,
That is a thing we can do. We could do it under the microscope. Ah! Ah! All right, it's off. Professional. It's fine, it's fine. We'll erase our crimes. Did I just swipe all of the passives off? No, we're good, we're good. It's okay. If I just knocked off all of the resistors around it, that would have been extremely unfortunate. Okay. Da 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 da. Motherboard to one side. I will now take my CMI Zapper breakout board. Alright, I'll now get some slightly bigger tweezers because those tweezers were a bit too small for that job. I'll touch that up with the soldering iron just for posterity. It doesn't really matter for this, but I'll do it just in case. Ah! The board is still hot. God damn it. I hate it when that happens.
A+, 10 out of 10.
Small boards hold the heat for ages. Also, just I've got the hot air way too hot for this tiny little breakout board, which isn't helping. Okay. I'm going to politely wait now.
Why is the flux fizzing?
It's because it's still hot.
Why is it smoky?
Because that's what flux does, it burns.
I thought it didn't burn until like 400 Celsius.
I might be at 420.
That's why you're all... Okay.
Yeah, which is fine for motherboards, but on this tiny little breakout board, it's massive overkill. That's why everything is way out of control. I'm way too hot for the breakout board. Okay, right. Ugh.
Is that the right way round?
It goes in like... So the dot is there, and it's very out of focus. Actually, can I make this focused? There we go. So dot in the top left, dot in the top left.
And is the chip on the board the correct way round?
I'll double check for posterity. So pin one dot, pin one... Oh, hold on a sec. Yeah, no, that is correct, yeah.
Are you sure? Because that pin
one
one
dot,
dot's
pin
for
one
the
dot.
thing next to it.
Pin 1 dot. Well, if I rotate that... Oh, you got me doubting now, but the thing is, if I rotated that 180 degrees, the pin 1 dot would be in the top left, which wouldn't make sense. Also, I think that's a pin 1 dot. Can you see that bit of silk screen right there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the pin 1 dot, I think.
Also, is there a triangle in the bottom left of that chip underneath all that flux?
There is.
And there's a triangle on the silk screen, so it's correctly orientated.
Oh, I see.
The triangle you can see on the silk screen matches up with the triangle on the chip. It's correctly orientated.
There's no triangle on the chip.
Oh, I thought you just said there was. Sorry.
Sorry, I misspoke. There will be underneath it. There's an easy way of testing this, is I'll put my multimeter into beep mode.
Meh.
And I'm going to touch pin 1 down here to pin 1 here. And it beeps.
Excellent.
So yes, the chip is the correct way around.
Congratulations.
That's how, and so yeah, that's how we can confirm. I was fairly certain it was correct, but now we know it's correct.
Yes.
Cool. All right.
Also, apparently it's to do with 6 versus 8 pins and stuff.
Fair
because
enough.
of rotation-y stuff.
All right.
But yes, that is on screen.
Okay, I'm going to go for a read.
Error.
Chip ID does not match. Okay, right. I'm going to abort for a sec. So we know that this is probably correct, but I'm just going to auto-detect and see if it comes up with a better match. 25Q256. Oh yeah. It's a WinBond. I'm an idiot. I had Giga device selected. So yeah. However, that's objectively correct. Read. We are reading. I'm going to grab our flash drive because I actually need a copy of the BIOS that we're going to put on it. Hi everyone.
Hello. Are you certain that's the correct BIOS? Do you want to copy it named?
X670.
Yeah, but do you want to copy it onto the flash drive?
Yeah, you know what? Let's do that because we've got to wait for it to read the chip anyway. And yeah, these...
And it will just mean that there is no chance.
Yeah.
0.
I agree with your methodology there.
When we are in the position of going, the hell is going on here?
Yeah, because obviously...
And also being like, I'm drunk.
Yeah, when you're drunk programming a BIOS chip like this, there's no verification. There is nothing to tell you that you are flashing the correct file. When you do a BIOS update from the BIOS config, it will tell you if you're trying to flash the wrong BIOS.
Do you wish to dump this ROM file?
I will. Yeah, we always make a backup.
Why?
Because then if you completely lunch it, you can at least restore it to how it was. Now, sure, for this it doesn't matter because this is a motherboard that we're going to send back. However, this could be someone else's motherboard, it could be someone's laptop. We always back up the BIOS. You always save a BIOS dump. Getting serious for a moment because seriously, you always save a dump of what is on the chip before you start. So the worst thing that happens is you can restore it to how it was before. So yes, even though I'm drunk, I will for a moment be serial.
In a universal type fashion. Always save your dump for like, wait.
Okay, right. ROM dumps, new folder. X670 gigabyte gaming something.
Gaming XAX.
Save. All right, we've saved our dump. So now I'm going to open the file that we downloaded. I put it on the desktop. X670. Bam. So we've loaded the file that we downloaded from the Gigabyte website. And so now I'm going to write it to the thing. So when we do a write, it's going to erase, verify erase, and then write, because that's just how this programmer works.
Which programmer is this again?
This is an RT809F.
Which is, yeah, oh yes, which is your...
This is my nice programmer.
Yes.
It's not a top-end programmer, but it's a nice programmer.
Have you got 3?
I've got 2. kind of. I've got two CH3410.
Oh, okay.
I have two CH341As.
Okay.
I've got the old one that needs a volt mod, and I've got the modern one with the voltage selector. But the RT809F, I've selected it this time round because it's a lot faster than the CH341A. The disadvantage of the CH341A is a really cheap programmer that everyone knows, but it's slow as balls.
Oh, you also have somewhere an EZP19, don't you?
I do. I've never used that because I believe the software is just hilariously out of date. Someone might correct me on that. It may be that someone, it might be that someone has made new software for that. I know Lead Farmer has mentioned the EZPs a couple of times, but I've no idea if that's actually still relevant.
There's also an EZP 2022.
Yeah, there's a newer version of it, I think. Yeah, because the EZP 2019 was unsurprisingly released in 2019.
Yeah.
So I think there are newer ones. Write error, operation terminated. Okay, that's not very good. I'm going to go for an erase. Erase error. Okay, this doesn't look good.
Can you read it again?
Sure, let's go for another read.
Yeah, it looks like it's reading. Okay.
Yeah, interesting.
So it is connected.
Yeah. The RT809F will tell you if you have a bad connection to the chip. That's the other reason why I like it. It will tell you if one of the pins has got a bad connection.
Yeah. Is it worth just trying to resolder it to the carrier?
That was the next thing I was going to try, is just flow those solder joints one more time.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be necessary, but if you're getting problems, that's the first thing to try doing. So we're reading the chip. After this read is complete, I'm going to hit verify, and then it'll do a second read and just make sure it gets exactly the same result. Right, read complete. I'm going to cancel that, and I'm just going to hit verify. Chip verification error. Hang on a sec. Let me open the dump. ROM dumps. ROM dumps. Open and verify. Chip verification error. Yeah, we're getting bad reads from this. I'm going to resolder it. If this doesn't give us a good read again, I'm going to drop the chip into a CH341A instead and just see if that makes any difference.
Yeah. Apparently you need an adapter because the voltage is wrong. Because it needs to be 1.8.
Oh, mother, of course. Didn't even think. Stupid. Yeah, okay, I hecked up, chat. I hecked up. Sorry, folks. Yeah, did not even think to check the voltage. That's carelessness on my part. That's mega careless. Yeah, there's no excuse for that. That's me being dumb. I should have known better. Right, I'm not sure where my level adapter is, so I'm switching to my CH341A that has voltage select on it. So we're going to drop this guy down to 1.8 volts. I should have looked it up. That was really stupid.
Yeah,
There's
I think
no
when I
excuse for
said
that.
it and you said, "Oh yeah, that's fine."
25, 25. Yeah.
It was just a case of I think you had the thought and then passed over it, basically.
This is what happens when you do this stuff while you're drunk. All right. Okay, yeah, sorry, folks, that's my bad. Right, one sec. I need to find a USB... Oh, where's my cable for this? Oh, no. My CH341A needs a USB extension cable because of the way it's wired up, and I don't know where it is. I've just suddenly realised. It's right here. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Is that extension actually plugged in?
It is.
Excellent.
As a special treat. Stupid. Yeah, really annoyed. All right.
Oh, well.
Yeah. I'm super embarrassed by that. But we'll see. We'll see. It's pretty
That
unlikely.
has not updated on the capture. The capture is not updating.
Oh,
I'm
reinitialize
going to deactivate and activate. No. I don't know what you just did, but you broke it.
Oh.
Do you just pull out the HDMI cable with your foot?
Don't think so, but I'll double check. Oh. HDMI out, HDMI in. Ba-ba-da-ba.
Ah, we have desktop on there now.
Okay.
We have nothing on here.
Yeah, I think that's the XR1 being squicky. I'll hot plug this. It's super warm. Like the box is really warm.
Weird.
All right, try reinitializing.
There we go.
Okay. Right, where's my screen projector?
Imagine if you drunk the Graham Graham.
Yeah. Okay, right.
There you go.
So, welcome back to really embarrassed Graham Zone, who just tried to flash a 1.8 volt chip at 3.3 because he's a hecking moron.
Oh, why is that not working?
All right, IC search. Have we got something that works?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, it's just that the bounding box is not the correct size.
256. Right, Wimbond 25Q256. What are you? We need a generic one.
Ha!
We're guessing it's a 1.8 volt. Oh, JW. Yeah, that's a JW. Yeah. Idiot. All right, doesn't matter. Okay, right. Select, read. We are reading. All right.
We are reading.
And it's going to take ages because we're on the CH341A now. Okay, right. Click detect, never search. Okay, yeah. I'll do this read, then I'll do a search. I'm really embarrassed like that. I'm normally not that careless. What on earth have you done to this, Caradog?
There you go. I've cropped it and enhanced it.
I see.
Because hopefully now people can read it.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you want to half snap so we can read chat again? So I can see chat roasting me. Yep.
Ha! Accidentally bans Arnold with misclick. Fuck!
See, look at how slow the CH341A is by comparison.
Is that because it's running undervolted?
No, it's just a balls slow chip. It's cheap, but it's slow. But like this is the thing, is just like at times like now it kind of sucks because we've got to sit and watch a progress bar go across the screen. But like if I were working right now, I'd be like, cool, I'm going to go and make a coffee, and I wouldn't really care. Like you're always working on more than one thing in the shop. There's something else to go and check in on while you wait for a progress bar. But at times like now, it's a matter of, awesome, this chip is just balls slow. Context?
You to that chip.
Oh, I see. Let's roast Graham for being a jackass.
Let me guess.
You won't be able to roast me because we're about to get drowned out by the hecking carnival again. Are they doing the second walk? Oh, I don't think it's the second walk quite yet. The crowd isn't thick enough. It's people practicing. All right. Any new games you're going to play over the next few weeks? Oh, I had some new games. I had some games lined up, but I can't remember which it was. I'm currently playing Deus Ex on stream, Deus Ex 1. We are 1 or 2 streams out from finishing that. Then I'm going to pick up the playthrough of Doom 2016 and get that finished. Then I might move on to Doom Eternal. However, also at some point I said I was going to play. Subnautica. But I'm kind of scared of that game, in a sense of I'm kind of scared of the undertaking, because it's a fairly long playthrough, I think. But I think with some friends in chat to give me some guidance on what direction to go on to speed things along, I can get through it quicker. Let's see. My worst idiot thing. Had a new F user for an A3 laser printer. £600, and when I went to fit it, new fuser. I hadn't read the rest of the thing, so I thought adding a user to a system. Shut up. £600 fuser, dropped it and killed it. That sucks, man. See, you're laughing because you'd already read the line. I started reading it before I'd read the whole thing. I thought it was a typo. I thought it was something to do with Linux, and an F user was going to be a type of user on a system.
It's a word. It's in the dictionary. Adamant.
User
it's not adamant.
Shut up. This is finished. I'm going to go and check in on it.
I'm going to go sulk over here.
Okay.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
I'm going to save my new ROM dump. I'm going to delete this one because I think it's crap. And save that one. Replace. Okay, I'm going to detect. It's detected exactly the same as what I selected. So I'm not going to bother doing a reread on that.
Use the force.
A sec. 25Q 256. Yeah, that is the same as what I had selected. So I'm going to go straight in with a verify in that case. Verify IC. So I'm going to verify what we just read. So now we've got to wait for it to read again. Somewhere around I've got a 1.8 volt. What are you doing?
I was seeing if I could turn the bench cam over
Oh,
there,
to look at me.
but I couldn't.
Yeah.
The angle was not.
We could do that.
Yes.
Where was I? Yeah. Somewhere around I've got a 1.8 volt level converter for the RT809F. However, I don't know where it is right now. It's probably in one of the little boxes, but instead of searching for it, I've just gone for the programmer that I have on hand that has built-in voltage stuff. 2 years later. Oh, you'll need to invert that. I thought it had.
I will do.
Yeah, I thought it had done it automatically. I have discovered that when you turn the Insta360 link upside down, it automatically inverts.
Ah!
Caradog, where are you go? Cradog. Cradooge. Doo-doo. Okay, we're at 33%, folks. How's the time? Oh, God, we're 15 minutes into overtime. I don't know why I thought I could do this in 15 minutes.
Oh, no! That was the capture. Let's try that again.
I'm glad you're doing this in... Well, actually, to be honest, if you weren't doing it in studio mode, it would at least be entertaining while we watch a progress bar go across the screen. Ditch the bad Captain tape so you can't mistake it for good stuff. Yeah, I will actually do that. I need to buy some new stuff. I don't actually use Captain tape that often. I'm just careful with the hot air. However, I busted it out in this instance because normally I don't cry too much if something plastic gets a little bit singed on a board. It's a repair job. It is what it is. However, we want to try and leave no marks on this board. So that's why I bothered this time around. Muerto says, along with your T3A, I shall be sending you an X-Geku T48. I see. Many thanks.
That requires you to leave your house.
And come up here and give it to me in person.
And also go car shopping. To go to the retro cave in your vehicle.
It's true. Shut.
Shan't.
Tin hot air shield from a soda can would be better. Probably. I like Captain tape because I feel like that seals against the board, whereas when I see people using a tin shield, I'm always worried that the hot air is just getting under the shield. I've got no basis for that, though. Muerto does not leave his bunker.
You Captain tape the tin shield to the board.
Sure, yeah.
Imagine going out.
T48
You have
Autovolts.
to in November.
Sticky aluminium foil. Yeah, that'd do it. Right, we're nearly there. This is taking way too long, but it is what it is. I'm going to get a Kit Kat from the fridge. Do you want a Kit Kat, or have you been...
I've had a Stroop
Yeah,
Waffle.
I'm going to Kit Kat.
We shall rave. Big fish, little fish, couple box. Big fish, little fish, couple box. Big fish, little fish, couple box.
This is one of those moments where it'd be really funny if we had the RGB key lights, so we could just have a rave. Boots and cats and boots and cats. You've moved resistors with aluminium foil. Interesting. Noted.
Damn it.
That would have been good if it had worked. Okay, here we go.
Operation success.
It's been executed. Okay.
So you've written to it now?
No, I just verified it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. However, previously the verifications were failing, which means the dump we had was crap. Whereas now we verified it that we have a known good dump. Now we've verified that we're actually getting consistent stuff out of the chip. Now we can try and reprogram it. So now I shall open all files. There we go.
No, my files.
All right, so now we've loaded the BIOS image downloaded from the Gigabyte website with all of this nonsense in it and a lot of empty space. Wow, look at how much empty space is in that. Fair enough.
Does it actually write the empty space?
Yeah, FF is empty.
Yeah, but does it write it?
Oh, I see. Yes.
See.
This is kind of like null. FF is still a value, even though it's assumed to be nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, FF is 1-1, effectively, kind of thing. You know, it's... But yeah. All right. Okay, so I'm going to off protect, erase, blank check, write, and then verify. Go! Verification error. What do we think? Is this BIOS chip shit?
I don't know. Have you got a spare one?
Either that or we cooked it.
I don't know.
I do not have a spare one. And it just immediately failed to do any writing. So, did I cook the chip is the question now.
It raises the entire IC at first, so when writing data, it doesn't need to write empty stuff. Yeah. I don't know. But now you can solder it back onto the board and return it and get a new board.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do. Oh well.
You bend the shield in L shape and put it in temp mode. Huh? Oh, I see. Talking about there's. Yes. Arnold says to try doing it is an MX25Q256.
I have no such thing. I'm on an old version of Neoprogrammer though.
Can you?
Is it worth checking for a newer version of Neoprogrammer?
No. Just solder it on the board and send it back.
Yeah. Okay.
Possibly erase it first, so it's definitely cactus.
I suppose. What happens if I erase it? Erase IC. Probably erase your failure. Check protection bits and status registers. Okay. Unprotect. Old protection register, new protection register. It is unprotected as far as we're concerned. Whatever it's doing, it ain't playing ball.
Fine. Take it off, stick it back on.
All right.
Send it back to Amazon.
Yeah, bollocks to this. There's a world where these problems are solvable. However, considering we reckoned that the motherboard was crap anyway, and I don't even need this motherboard. It's not a customer motherboard. I have no investment in this motherboard. We're going to put the board on and send it back. It's someone else's problem now.
Yes.
Okay.
Reprogram it with 5 volts, then send it back. And by reprogram with 5 volts, set fire to it. The programmer window's still in the way.
Oh, yeah, noted. Thank you. Okay, let's get this off the board.
Oh, it's got a scratch on it now. Now they'll know.
That'll buff out. Literally.
Just like your car.
That won't buff out. It's worth noting that this might tally with the problems that the board actually has, because remember, when we got it to post, it was on an old BIOS version. There's a non-zero chance that just this BIOS chip, even before I cooked it with 3.3 volts, was just faulty and cannot be programmed.
Perhaps.
You know. Right, where's pin 1? Top left. Actually, I'm going to push that to one side and put some flux down as a special treat. Going to use a millipole of flux.
Excellent.
Cool. Here comes the heat, here comes the heat.
Yeah.
Oh, this Captain Tape is bollocks.
Yeah. We're only programming it for knowledge.
Yeah.
Arguably, we don't actually want the board to work. We want it to actually be broken.
Yeah.
So you can get a refund on it, and then you can buy a Tai Chi.
Yeah. I mean, if the board had worked, I'd have put it into service. But I'm not heartbroken about this. I don't really care. Like I said, I have no investment in this. It's not customer property. If it was, I wouldn't be doing this drunk.
Even if it was, the advice would be to send it back and get a good board.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have enough temperature for this.
Yeah. If this was like an X570S gigabyte board, I'd be way more interested in fixing it, just because those boards weren't awful.
Yeah. Come on, buddy. Oh, this Captain Tape is so bad. It's just melting. Cautionary tale. Speaking of melting, could this solder actually start flowing properly, please? Bottom left is not going.
Time to delete the VOD. We have reason to believe, Mr. Graham, that you broke this board.
There we go, there we go. All right.
Like a bought one.
Let's get all this nonsense off. Bloody stuff. But it's done the job. There's not a single mark on any of the plastic. Like, if there... if I just tilt that there, there's no glaze marks on the plastic at all. It's consistent.
7 FPS.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. So yeah,
Is this still the Tomblov?
it is, but I'm not like trying to make it look good right now. Like I could, if I hit the record button right now, it would jump up to 60 FPS, but it's fine.
I don't need 60 FPS. I need not 7 FPS. It was single-digit FPS for a moment there.
Understandable.
This is like, oh.
There we go. That's fine.
Do you remember when we did this to my Gigabyte board?
Yeah,
like,
we turned the chip around. Yeah.
yeah, like 10 years ago.
We were like, we need to make sure that this definitely doesn't work.
Yeah.
So we just put the chip on backwards.
Yeah, because something was so broken with that board. Just, yeah, so broken. It was like, whatever. Give me a refund.
Yeah.
Mr. Graham, you broke the board and we're going to jail for 20 years.
You have defrauded. Oh shit! Who's the guy who owns Amazon again?
Bezos.
Bezos. Yeah. You have defrauded Jeff Bezos. You will now be executed. All right. So the microscope is really unflattering and will show stains on the motherboard no matter how much you clean it. But to the natural eye, you can't see the stains that I'm leaving behind. So.
Oh no, the jails are full. You'll have to go to Rwanda.
Oh no. To Brazil with you.
See if,
That's a meme.
okay. I thought you were just demonstrating your geography abilities again.
Rwanda is the capital of Brazil.
It's okay. See if you can get a detour. Visit JD. See what he set on fire this week.
All right. It's back on the board. No one will know.
Especially if you put the heatsink on top.
Yeah. Like, if someone sticks this under a microscope, they could probably look at that and be like, why is there flux residue there? However...
That's why it's faulty.
Yeah. But also,
it wasn't
like...
assembled properly.
I defy someone in a repair centre to actually be taking that much approach to this board. A repair centre is actually going to just post-test it and go, this board is cooked, you know.
Receive a battery.
I'm going to put the flat one in there.
Put the bad one in there.
Yep. Cool. Right. I'll put that on, then I'll turn it over and put the other one on.
Checking all up.
Right. I think I've enjoyed this conversation in English, unless you have anything else to say.
Amazon returns. There's a thing in this box. Here's a refund. Next.
Well, this is actually going in for repair. I'm guessing I must have accidentally bought it on Amazon Marketplace because Amazon doesn't want to actually just do a no questions asked return on it. Make of that what you will. I am now having problems finding the holes.
Yeah, they're here.
Ah, thank you. It looked like you were trying to jam one of the screws into the back of the power supply then. I'm like, what are you doing?
Removing the power cable.
Understandable. Have a day.
I'm having a time. I can dream, Harold.
All right. Oh, I'll take my CPU out of it. I want that. Okay, well, I'd actually say this is a good result because the board that started out faulty is still faulty, and the board that we actually wanted to fix now works. And that was kind of an interesting fix as well because BIOS flashback with no CPU or RAM in is what appeared to fix it. So obviously, that's a sample size of 1. I'd want to see that happen more often, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's a good result, personally. And I have a new motherboard, CPU, and RAM to go into my PC.
Does it not go underneath?
Underneath? No.
Oh. It doesn't go underneath the hold down.
No.
I see. Fair enough.
It does not.
I assumed it did.
Great
Otherwise
success.
It would just kind of fall off and chipping. Because if you turn the box the other way up.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
All right. Is Graham going to be okay to stream tomorrow? He may need a few days to recover. Look, I know I'm 38, but I can still... It's only 3 UK units. I'm not... I mean, yeah. I'm fine. All right. I've enjoyed this conversation in English.
Good. Glad someone has.
38, says JD. Ancient, might as well be 80. Yeah, I would have... If this was Logan's run, I'd be long gone.
Well, yes.
There's about 2 people in chat who will understand that joke. Okay, goodbye, everyone. See ya.
Okay. We are leaving.
Twitch tomorrow, 7 p.m. UK time, Deus Ex.
Have fun.
See ya.
Bye.